Tuna wageni watatu, Mheshimiwa Sebastian Kapufi mbunge, ambao ni wadau wa maendeleo kutoka Marekani. Wadau wa maendeleo kutoka Marekani, karibuni sana.
Shalom, Salama, Siyemi, Shalom. Greetings to all my Israelite brothers and sisters from around the world, whether you're the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the house of Israel, or you are a Gentile grafted in under the blood of Yahushua HaMashiach. Family, interesting over these last 24 hours. A lot of things that's going on. And as they are really working on out and manifesting itself, we see a throwdown occurring. And my years when I was younger, watching The Hawk, watching Ric Flair, watching Randy Macho Camacho, and others of that similar timeline, the posturing, the one-liners, the grunts and other get you hype sort of soliloquies, for lack of better words. Oh yeah, just wait until I get you on the mat. Woo! Yeah, the Ultimate Warrior little stretch thingy. So you can be watching and, wrestling. Oh, Brother Asaph, glad you could join us because we are going to talk about that too. Let me just get through my little intro. You know what I'm saying? My little intro. My little intro itch. Sorry, family. I am literally struggling. I'm taking my colloidal silver, black seed oil. Had to hit up this elderberry, and I'm just praying that I can actually keep through this without coughing. It's been one of those days, family. Like the other day, there was just smoke in the air for a couple of nights. Then I went on out with the dog and breathing in, I was breathing in particles like I was just sneezing. I woke up this morning. I had to blow my nose just because of the pollen and the dust. It's just that time. I had to deal with like a 15-minute nosebleed. Everything was off this morning. I said, if everything's off this morning and the enemy is attacking, oh, this is going to be good. I look at it like that. I don't look at it as, oh, the enemy has me defeated and I can't do it. No, I take my little sip of tea because now it's tea season. And I get going. And now I'm drinking chamomile. Get that antioxidant going. Get those blood vessels flowing. Because you know the sound right before the SmackDown, or we call it now the WWE Four Carpenters against Four Horns. The Rumble in the Cage is literally the Rumble in the Middle East. Or Gaza, I guess. I mean, they've been living literally in an open air prison strip for decades. So, my thumbnail is a thumbnail of Tampa Bay WrestleMania they had here a couple of years ago, and that's a big deal. And I like to go over this because here in the Tampa area, you actually do have a lot of your wrestlers. Your wrestlers are here. Your folks are here doing what they need to do. So for them to come back to Tampa Bay, that is like coming back home, and you know it's a big to do. It's kind of like the wrestling Super Bowl of sorts. Who knows? I haven't watched wrestling in over 20 years, so. But this is very interesting. This is a point in time to where we're seeing things develop. And it's it's kind of funny because it's like, man, we called that, man, we said that, wow, we said that. And now everything is really coming to pass because I got a few articles that I want to show. The first one here, and then I'll bring up on some guests because there's some discussions that need to be had. First one here, I'm going to share this in the chat and I'll go ahead. I'll go ahead and share it on the screen. Here we go. This is Washington Post via MSN. Get some tea real quick. U.S. readies plans for mass evacuation if Gaza war escalates. Did you? Okay, all right. The week before last, I went on. That was that it was a Sat or Sunday. It was Sunday. The Sunday before last. And this is what the Ruach had placed in me. The Ruach HaKodesh had placed in me. Let's get into this article so we can read this. The Biden administration is prepared for the possibility of that hundreds of thousands of American citizens will require evacuation from the Middle East if the bloodshed in Gaza cannot be contained, according to four officials. The specter of such an operation comes as Israeli forces, aided by U.S. weapons and military advisors, prepare for what is widely expected to be a perilous ground offensive against Hamas. Okay, you can read the rest. I have the article in there. But here's something. It says there are about 600,000 U.S. citizens in Israel and another 86,000 believe. All right. I'll have you read that article. I'm not going to read the rest. When you, if you saw my Sunday edition, I explained the possibility, the strong possibility of what we would be seeing. Don't worry about the illegal immigrants. We have open borders anyway. Just bring them on over, let them lick their wounds, and they'll get all the benefits and reparations and everything else. I mean, there's only going to be what, 11, 12 million of them anyway, as opposed to the 2 or 3 million that are let in every year. Not that big of a deal. You already have homes that are vacant because the banks don't want to put the homes up on the market, because what that will do, that will have realized debts. So now the government can then just back a mortgage to these realized debts. Problem solved. Money's printed out of the atmosphere, and there you go. Don't worry about black folks. Don't worry about anything for us. Don't worry about any recompense. Because why? It all went to them. I laugh because it's funny, but it's not funny. And you see the article right in front of your face. Because why? Because that's exactly what they plan on doing. And just in not so many words, because, they don't want to have it that they're going to admit defeat. I mean, come on. There has to be a fight first. Kind of, sort of. And then after that fight, you don't want to know what's going to happen. We need to regather. We need to go back to the drawing board. And oh, by the way, the U.S. is really the Holy Land. Thank you, Mormons and Hebrew Israelite Mormons, that clamor to that ideology that America's the Nile and Jordan, Utah is really Zion. Oh, the nonsense. There's a reason that they had this nonsense pushed, was because they knew what they were doing all along. And yes, I do give the Gentiles that credit. Because why? Because they have our writings, they have our books, they know who we are. So, yes, yes. Why not reverse engineer it? They reverse engineered our heritage. They reverse engineered our legacy. They reverse engineered everything for their benefit. Yes, I do give them that credit. because anything else, to say anything less, is very disingenuous. And you see that the Most High is pleading for our legacy. Because why? Because they stole it. No, that ain't us moving to Utah. That ain't us moving to Utah. That's them. Let me go ahead. Let me bring up Brother Fast Nickel. I have the link pinned in the chat if you wanna bring your couple cents. Brother Fast Nickel, shalom. How are you?
Shalom, brother Karis. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Oh, just, seeing the world crumble on a daily basis, or excuse me, seeing their world crumble on a daily basis.
Yes, that's true. That is true.
So, Brother Fast Nickel, was this something? Was this, or was this not something I was just talking about?
It is. Yesterday.
And back on Sunday, I spoke about this. Look, they're going to bring these folks over here. And now, do you understand what they're trying to do? They're trying to now soften things up. Oh, we actually may lose in the Middle East. And so if we lose, we need to go back to our homeland, or we need to go search for the real homeland. How easily will that messaging be? Shout out to Brother Ron with Truth Unedited. He's been going through the history of TV and brainwashing. And if you haven't seen those videos, please get a chance to watch how the TV allows for brainwashing, how the media allows for brainwashing. And now, to me, I look at this is now another episode of the brainwashing effect.
Yeah, all the television terms are brainwashing terms.
Yep. So now, to me, it looks as though this is really that setup to, well, we are kind of at that point. We'll be at that point when things get evacuated, right? That's, to me, I look at it as I've always said, America doesn't want to fight. The West doesn't want to fight. They listen. Why does it say that the arrows fly and none returneth? Because why? Babylon is in its land. Because why? You saw the paper tiger getting ripped to shreds in Afghanistan. All they were worried about in Afghanistan was that they didn't have any surface to air missiles shot down by any type of Iranian proxy. That was all they were worried about. And think about it. Think about this. The reason that they were worried about that, remember and understand that there was $6 billion on the line that America was holding. Remember that? Hey, you let us go and get us let us on out of here, and we'll release that $6 billion. That $6 billion finally got released, I think, like what, 3 or 4 months ago, something like that. It was the paper tiger effect. Oh, do they really have the weapons like that? Or has their weapons of warfare just been economic and financial weapons this whole time? And now folks are starting to see what it is that they've had. They've had the wool pulled over our eyes, and they've had the wool pulled over the eyes of the world. If you come at us, we will do this. Man, we're gonna get our African Americans after you. We're gonna get our so-called African Americans after you. If they're gonna start shouting and denouncing, and you know how influential they are, they're gonna start going into the communities and saying that they're this and you're that and you're that and you're this, and they'll start giving you all these different this is what I say so. I wanna jump to this one. This is gonna be obviously one of my more controversial segments here. Fair use, fair use. It's for educational purposes. Fair use. Shout out to Brother George, Brother Asaph for this article. I want to discuss this. Let's read the topic. It says, this is from BT.com. Louis Farrakhan sues Anti Defamation League, the ADL. For almost $5 billion for claims of anti-Semitism, the Nation of Islam leader claims that the civil rights group is interfering with his First Amendment rights. Let me read this here. Nation of Islam leader Minister Louis Farrakhan has filed a $5 billion lawsuit against the Anti-Defamation League, the ADL, for falsely characterizing him as an anti-Semite. According to the New York Post, the claim was filed in a Manhattan federal court accusing the civil rights group of interfering with his First Amendment rights. This lawsuit to ensure the abuse, misuse, and false use of the term anti-Semite, anti-Semitic, and anti-Semitism is falsely charged by the ADL is permanently barred from being a tool to defame Farrakhan and Nation of Islam and stifle the exercise of constitutional rights, the claim read. Have that in the chat for everyone. I believe I did. Yep. Here is the question du jour. That lawsuit is going to be heavily monitored by these Israelite groups, including us, because we said this, what, a couple of years ago. All it's going to take is a lawsuit from one of our folks to claim and challenge the term anti Semitic and anti Semitism in what? In a court of law. And there goes their wall of shadowy talk up in flames. What say you, Brother Mike, and then Brother Garth? I'll come back to you, Brother Fastnickel.
bro. This stuff here, I'm telling you. Mm, shalom, shalom, shalom. Um, it's every day. It's always changing. It's always changing. Now, I was listening to you, and of the first article you had up. Um, the first article you had up. Now, who's they talking about a mass evacuation? Is that an evacuation of Gaza or Israel?
They wanted to say the Middle East, and we have to understand the context of what that is.
Wait a minute. Did you say Middle East?
Middle East, yes, that's what the article stated. That's what they're trying to prime. That's what they're trying to prime. Because why? Because they're trying to get up on out of there, and they're going to use American forces to get up on out of there. You're now seeing the article. You have to understand what these articles are doing. These articles are priming you for the actions of what they're getting ready to take. That's all that is.
Mm.
Oh, they're going
They
to
read.
evacuate
Mm.
these American
Hmm.
citizens. Well, now it's a little bit more than that. They're going to have to evacuate, these folks here. And now they're going to have to evacuate these folks here. Oh, it's going to be the largest evacuation in U.S. history. Why? Because they're going to try to say that was their quote unquote exodus. Do you get what's going on? They know what we're getting ready to encounter. But remember, they have to fake the funk at all costs. Understand the game that's being played.
Uh, mm. And you got to sit back and let that. I mean, wait a minute. Shucks. They. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of. I'm hearing a lot of just concrete arrogance, as if, hey, hmm, they speaking like if this is a prophetic saying that they're what they are trying to attempt. You talk about the Middle East. How many people are you looking at, man?
Yeah, exactly. The problem is now they're trying to get themselves a way out. They don't want to go to war. This was the last thing that they wanted. This is the last thing. And honestly, look, they're looking at it because why? Well, let's reshape it to where we need to get things evacuated. Let's go through. We'll evacuate our people. But we know that as we evacuate our people, we knew that we were gonna, kick the hornet's nest. We're gonna kick the beehive, and everyone was gonna come on out. And just for safety, we're gonna have to evacuate all the major cities with all the Israelis, and they're gonna have to come on over to the U.S. and welcome arms, and then we'll just gather up black folks and put them in their open air prisons, and we'll just live wherever they're living at. Because why? They're not even 3/5 human anyway.
Mm.
I'm just saying that's
Mm.
the rationale in my calculus. We can have the full subjugation. Well, we were subjugating via proxy. Now we just have to fully subjugate. And on top of that, we need our reparations because, things didn't end up so hot over in that
Mm.
land
Mm.
of
Mm.
dirt.
Wow.
Mark my words, you have been warned.
Man. Mm. 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 Yeah, but I know you was talking about unedited. I seen it's been for the last. He was talking about that TV for the last 3 weeks, and if you look at it, yes. And we was talking about it last night. And we was talking about how what it was. Red was talking about the word broad and cast, and I'm like, man, I mean, you really once
Programming.
yeah, program, but once you sit back and let the information sink in about the world in which we live in, when people say this is a spiritual war, bro, we fighting. This is us fighting spirit beings. This is what this is about. I mean, this is like off the top. We're fighting against Hashatan and his legions, principalities. Period. I mean, if you go through some things, I was Red, or Red was Red is a. If you drop a book by mistake, Red go pick it up and read it before he give it back to you. I mean, Red, that brother, that's his gift. He could take a book, read it, analyze it, break it down, and move on. And he's looking for another book. And just listening to that brother, as to the world in which we live in, there's so much stuff. Some of the things you may think is an okay thing to say or do. No, it's not. And he was talking about the word. He was talking about the word. Some people say, "Oh, he's a genius." That cat broke the word genius down, and letting you know it's demonic. But we just so used to it, to saying it. But if you find out where the term really comes from, you'd be like, about everything you say or do is demon based. And that's the way they want it. The demons, I mean, you cannot. When I was in the music business, one thing I learned about that, when I got out of it rather, I learned you cannot go in and think you go clean up the devil's den. That's his den. I don't care what it is, politics, whatever. You're not going to go in and think you will clean his den up. That's one thing I learned. And just looking at the system in which we live in, for the ones that's lost, we can sit up here and yell, "Oh, we need to come together and vote." And I think black people have woke up on that one, though. Truth be told, I seriously believe black people has woken up, said, "Hey, this voting stuff ain't working either." I mean, neither one of you all are for black people, period. And it's starting to hit the fan. And especially when they don't have the black support in of this war.
Because
that's crippling.
Mike, tell them again.
Yes, sir.
What does the act of voting do? Tell them again, Mike, what the act of voting does.
You giving your power you're really truly giving your power to demons, but it does nothing, absolutely nothing for you. Well, nothing.
So what it is voting is a spiritual contract that says you are in agreement with your destruction.
You signing a contract when you vote.
Bingo. I'm in agreement with my destruction because why? Because I cast my agreement. I cast the spell. I'm casting a vote. Cast.
There you go. That's it. That is absolutely it. And the more when if black people come to understand that within itself, if all black people came to understand that within itself is a war for the United States. Mm-hmm.
You know,
What? I'm sorry.
Brother Kara,
Let me wait a second, Brother Fastical. Brother Garth, shalom.
Shalom. Finally, the brew has come back to Covenant Awakening.
Can you smell
How you doing,
it?
bro?
This is it. This is what I. This is how I see it, Brother Karras. When I'm outside walking, I see the other nations. They're looking at me, giving the brew the dirty look. I'm like, the brew knows why you're giving the brew the dirty look. We know why.
Do
The
you
jig
have
is
the
up.
people's? Do you have the people's eyebrow?
The brew's eyebrow. No, but in all seriousness, I feel the tension just walking outside. I mean, I go. I mean, it's not like anything more. Well, I feel like it is more like visceral, like because I go and then like open it. Like I saw some white man open the door, and some other white couple opened the door for him. He's like, "Oh, thank you," and then I opened the door for him, and he didn't say anything. So I know that I'm just getting ready for the hate, and I'm okay with it. I have the Most High; He's my protection, So and we have each other, and we just pray for each other and strengthen each other up. But like you were saying, this whole Farrakhan thing. I mean, I don't really trust him all that much, but I could see how this is being used to set up like a witch hunt against us after you
Oh yeah.
this could set a precedent for them to come after us because they find out the truth and they're mad, even madder. At the same time, I kind of see how again around the same time, like last year, Kanye and Kyrie, and now they're just ramping it up again with this. Now it's like all coming to full circle, and like now this is coming. This is gonna get to the point where it's there's no coming back. I mean, the Kyrie and Kanye thing was kind of like a little litmus test, and whoever received it, and then I guess they put us on lists and they're watching us and whatever. But the like I see that how this is like the okey doke, like you were saying. It's just like he's gonna sue, whether this is contrived or not. He's gonna probably win and say, look, I can't be an anti Blemite because I'm a Blemite.
Yep.
So that's I mean at this point I
Well,
believe there. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I also look at this like this, Garth. It also when you are suing someone, that person has to then produce documentation
Mm-hmm.
of why they claim that they are who they are.
There you
And
go.
the problem is they don't have the documentation for it. So
There you go.
literally, they put themselves in a trap because, like we had been saying, they're in a trap. And all they're going to do is continue to walk around the cage like they're not in the cage that they then put themselves in. And that was the cage. And
Right.
we all saw that cage coming.
And the thing is too,
Yeah.
like I'm like literally I was with my barber yesterday getting a haircut, and we were talking about the whole thing, and then I mean I talked to him. He's Spanish, he's Puerto Rican. I told him the whole thing, and he's not offended by it. But he's like it's funny when I talk to you about this. You're so calm, and we may disagree, but you don't get all like agitated and angry. He's like when I speak to those folk, they get all mad and almost want to fight you or like you spit in their mother's face. I'm like, yeah, because they have to keep up the lie, and the lie is so glaringly obvious that now they have to resort to violence.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Brother Garth. Brother Asaph, for bringing up this article to my attention. Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom. Shalom. I'm always doing research
You know that. I will speak as a person from the outside. One, you got to look at where the case was filed. I'm not an American, but I know a little bit about how your legal system work. I hold 2 degrees from the United States. The case was filed in Manhattan.
Yes.
And the second, we got to look at how the case is going to be conducted. Is the judge going to allow the discussion of who is Semitic and the history of Semitism to be heard? Or is it just going to be based on what Farrakhan has said? And I don't think so. Because in order to present the case, you're going to have to prove who is Semitic and the history of that word.
Yes.
And so on, and what's associated with that word.
Yes.
And I think on this on just on the where the case is being heard and how the case has been filed as well, puts them in a very difficult situation. Because it's been a long time that the Hebrew Israelites, whether they've been Muslim or whatever, wanted to take the ADL to court. But the problem is, whenever we find a lawyer, I'll have to say we find a lawyer or a law firm that is willing to do it, suddenly and mysteriously, those people get struck off the bar. Did you notice that, Karis?
Yeah, I know. And that's the whole thing. I'm wondering, well, I look at it like this. It's kind of now they're in a catch-22 because if they don't take it, then guess what? That's going to have more ramifications because then it's, hey, are you all, telling us that you are lying about it, and now you have everything that's there because now look at the mind control and the brainwashing. Look at this system, right? Look at everything else. So they've really backed themselves up in the corner of, of the cry wolf syndrome. And now it's kind of like, well, if you don't take it, then guess what? Now what you've done is you've legitimized. You've legitimized by virtue of not being able to prove yourself. You've legitimized the claim of what we've always been saying. We've had these sources. What did you have?
Yeah. Definitely. And it has very much wider implications as well. Because let's say if Farrakhan wins the case, what does it mean for the Black church? What does it mean for history? It has wider ramifications. So
the biggest ramification is the Middle East. Let's bring that back. Come on, George. I
was going to bring that in now.
Yes,
it's a two-pronged. It's a two-front attack. Decimation on 3 fronts: the spiritual front, the legal front, the battle front, and also I forgot the last one, the economic front.
Yes,
because their hegemony is based upon getting $10 million per day, weapons and other support, which is insurmountable.
Yep.
And I heard from a reliable source, Israeli News Live, that the US is planning to send troops in November in the Middle East, but they're not going to be engaged in any fighting, which means that there's going to be most likely be a mass evacuation.
The plot gets thicker. Da, da, da.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah, go ahead.
The evacuation, that's what I'm looking at. Are you talking about the Ishi people or?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
But don't you? Let me see.
Yesterday, Putin had a heart attack.
Say it again.
Putin had a heart attack yesterday, and his guards had to resuscitate him.
Oh, for real? No, I didn't know that. Now.
Yeah, I can post the article from the Daily Mail in the link if you want to have a look at it. but a lot of things are happening. So we don't have to do anything. It's like on a daily basis, the system is just self-destructing.
Yeah. Because what that means is, look, there's some sort of infiltration with that, and look, they're gonna. People know that they have their time is limited, right? They're limited also in this construct of walking around in this skin suit. So now for him, the gloves are going to be coming off because why? Because he's got to do what
Yeah.
he needs to do. That's going to be to fulfill his purpose.
So
So
they
it
are you?
looks like
You,
I,
sorry, you
Mhm.
know that our bandwidth is being interfered with.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
absolutely. Oh yeah, absolutely. This triggers. This is a trigger to the YouTube algorithm. Just wait. There's going to be the trolls on up here because why? Because we're talking about a lawsuit that's being filed by Farrakhan in the Nation of Islam. That is humongous because what people don't understand, they're bringing it on that end. However, that is a lot. That's a mouthful that has to be addressed. Okay, so what we've been saying in this community that we know who we are, and we've been proving it not just with scriptures, but also with European historical sources. They hate that. Shout out to brother Dante Fortson with
My brother
Black
Dante,
History in the
Dante,
Bible and Hebrews Fear 2.0. That needed to come on out because I'm sure the Nation of Islam is going to be using a lot of his
uh, uh,
sources.
Hey, brother
Call,
Dante.
call it to the stand. Call it
brother,
to the
brother
stand.
Dante.
Material
I said some years ago
expert
that
witness.
brother Dante has gone into Samson mode, and he doesn't care how many of them he's taking out.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's look, but the lies are going to be exposed. That means that look, we're going to be asking if these lies are exposed, and we've been donating to these folks that are Ashkenaz, who are literally Europeaners. Then what does that
Hmm.
mean? Oh, they need to get back to Europe by hook or by crook.
That means you've been bamboozled, you've been hoodwinked, you've been fleeced. That's what that means. And
Yeah,
those
I
folks
heard
don't
I
love their
heard one
money.
I heard on one of your newscasts, one of the biggest Pentecostal organization, in fact the largest one, with the
Mm-hmm.
most sex perverts in it. It's on the internet, saying that he's in support of what is happening at the moment, but he doesn't realize that when all these things come out, a lot of his church brethren are going to be leaving,
Oh, they're
especially
gone.
the younger ones,
they're
the ones that are
they're
in their
gone.
60s and 70s.
They're gonna stay. Yeah, because they really look. They're at the end of their life. Man, I have nothing really going on. I'm just gonna write out this lie. The ones that are there, the younger ones, I'm gonna say 50 and younger. They're gonna say,
Yeah.
forget this. We got lied to. No wonder that we haven't been blessed because we've been living this lie. Look, the more they tied, the more they thought that look, their economy was going to turn around. If I just
Yeah.
tithe more, look,
Caris, Caris,
yeah.
you know what I do? And I walked into a Baptist church that was open because I didn't see nobody last week Sunday, and I thought it was burgled. There was nobody
Yeah,
in it.
yeah. The funny thing is, let me tell you the story. Because last night my son had a college night, and we've been working on his stuff. And I went to one of his the place where they're holding the college night was actually a church. So on this ground, on this campus, they actually have sports little complex. They actually have a gym. They have a church, and then they also have some other things. in the area. And it's kind of weird because let me tell you something about this. The way that this church was set up, and I looked at this the other day because I was out there in I was out there in July when my son was doing some training. And let me tell you how the church was set up. The church was set up as a development complex, and the development complex in this area in this county here in Florida, they held a bond, and the bond was like, oh, it had to have been like about, and I looked at it, it was like $120 million. It was $120 million. Do you understand that literally it was taxpayer dollars that paid for the church? And that church was nice. I'm looking at it. It had about, 300 seats in the auditorium, maybe about 400 or 500. Nice audio equipment, videography equipment, the keyboard, all this good stuff.
Marble floors.
Because why? Because it's taxpayer dollars. It's levied off of taxpayer money. Do never tell me that, oh, there's a separation of church and state. No, it's a lie. Because why? That's how they pay for things. And we have to go through grassroots.
It's never has
the
been.
The system insulates the system spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, economically. Sorry.
So you're saying if I don't pick myself up by my bootstraps, I won't be able to get a nice $120 million church? I thought if I pick myself up by my bootstraps and work really, really hard and network really, really hard and preach the word really, really hard and get people to follow me, I thought I would be able to do that, but I guess not.
Exactly. Brother Rojo, let me go ahead and get you on in here because I'm gonna get real mad about that. Go ahead, Brother Rojo.
Hey, shalom, bro, Karis, and everybody on the panel and in the chat. I just gotta kind of just put a little PA out there. My TikTok channel is probably going. Well, I don't want to say going to get taken down. It's probably already down. I'll check in a minute. But I've been getting threats and I've been getting a whole lot of petitions put out to shut my channel down on TikTok because my language isn't as friendly on there as it is on here. And I did a comparison and people are really upset. As you know, I live in Tennessee and they had this shooting where this W woman got lit up because she asked for it. I mean, I'll just leave it at that. But a few weeks earlier, we all know about the brother down there in Decatur, Alabama, who got ambushed, and I did a comparative commentary on that. And a lot of those W's, I mean, they got their little wet patties and a twist behind it. So I'm just like, you were right. I thought about you, bro, Karis. You were exactly right. Jacob was right. Benalia was right. We can't say nothing without pissing these people off.
Well, you don't have to anymore. Here's a great thing about this. All we have to do is just watch and see. And here's the thing: they're telling on themselves. They're telling on themselves. They're showing their heart to our people, and it's worldwide. Now I want to before brother I get Brother Brian on here. I want to discuss this because here's the thing that they literally fell into the trap for. They thought, here's the thing, they thought that they were going to get all this sympathy and everything else because of what happened to them 2.5 weeks ago. They thought they were going to get all these demonstrations, to kick the Palestinians out. And do you understand? It was literally the opposite. Let me bring up this article real quick. I got to share this article. This is from the Express. Let me put this in the chat.
Express is a British newspaper.
It is, brother Asaph, and I'm glad you're here. I'm gonna let brother Brian go after I do that, and brother Fast Nickel. Then I want to have you chime in on this. Let me share this screen. And if I can share it. Oh boy. Okay, something's going on. Never mind. I think this thing crashed. That thing crashed my screen. Oh, there it is. Can you all see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, this website's crashing. Well, this is what we have to deal with in YouTube land, especially when you are shadow banned and they stunt your growth of your channel on purpose. That's just how it
Fair
goes.
use, fair use, fair
Yep.
use.
Fair use. Here we go. Here we go. Because let me just tell you this, family, it was not just in London. This was not just in Paris. This was literally worldwide. This article says Rishi Sunak blast Met police for not acting on jihad chants at Palestine protests. Rishi Sunak told police to tackle pro-Palestinian extremism head-on after fury over the failure to arrest protesters chanting jihad. In a damning response to Scotland Yard's handling of demonstrations, the Prime Minister dismissed claims that the officers need new powers to deal with hate crimes on Britain's streets and told them to get on with the job using laws already in place. He warned that calls for Muslim armies to rise up are a threat to Jewish community and our democratic values. Mr. Sunak also announced British intelligence believes that deadly blast at a Gaza hospital last week was likely. So the crazy thing is they're all regurgitating the lie. And it's just, I'm not going to say it's sad. It's really not sad, but we all understood what it was that they're doing. Look, this is the battle of white supremacy. The problem is they always thought that the battle of white supremacy was going to be fought against us. Wrong. The battle of white supremacy was going to be fought against them because why? Because this is Gog versus Magog. This is Zechariah chapter 1, the four horns versus the carpenters. The horns that scattered the children of Judah. All right, Brother Brian, I was going to go to you. Looks like you left the studio. Brother Fast Nickel, what say you?
I made a lot of notes while I was waiting, so I'll be quick with most of them. So for those that like to learn and like to study, when you talked about the television, what most people don't know is movies, television shows, all of this stuff has to go through the CIA approval first. And all of these operatives like MK Ultra, Project Paperclip, these are all underneath the CIA. And a lot of people don't understand this, but if you go and research it, you will find it's all about control. The other thing I wanted to say was the word understand, because you were bringing up talking about voting and the spiritual contract. And so what a lot of people don't realize is in a court of law, when the judge asks you, do you understand? The word understand, yes, it does mean do you comprehend, but they're also expecting you to say, yes, I understand. But if you say to them, no, I do not understand, what the word understand means is that you're standing under their authority. And if you say you do not understand, they cannot commit you if you say you do not understand. They have a problem with that. But most people will always say they understand. But if they really understand the legal ease of the terminology, they have an issue if you say understand. Now, the Farrakhan article, why that's an interesting article is because we're in baseball season, we're in the playoffs, and we're about to go into free agency, and Shohei Ohtani, the Japanese player, is expected to make the biggest free agent money ever. And the reason I bring this up is because baseball, all sports get free agent money, but the guy who everyone needs to bow to for this is a black man named Curt Flood. A lot of people, if you're not into baseball, and if you're pretty young, you don't know who Curt Flood was. But prior to the 70s, baseball had, baseball players could not, they basically were at the mercy of Major League Baseball. And then Curt Flood, he went to court to say this is illegal, this is not right. And he fought and won to allow Major League Baseball players to have free agency, and now all teams have free agency. And the reason I bring that up is because what Farrakhan is doing, he's setting a precedent that they cannot allow him to win, because if he wins, it's like with Curt Flood. When Curt Flood won, that opened the gates to everything. And if they let Farrakhan win, that will just open up a Pandora's box that they cannot deal with. So as you were saying, they may try to just pay him under the table to brush this away. I don't know, but the ramification of him winning, I don't even know if they can fathom how bad it is. And the last thing I will say is I was watching a 2-hour discussion with a gentleman named Michael Saylor. So Michael Saylor is a guy who's called a Bitcoin maxi. He loves Bitcoin. And he was talking about Bitcoin, but one of the things that he was talking about, because I'm not a financial person, but he was talking about T-bills. And one of the things he was explaining is how, because the US dollar is the currency of choice, when countries are dealing with these large amounts of money, basically the United States government acts as a bank. And so what they'll do is, because I'll just use any country. So let's say a country, their home currency, instead of using their home currency, a person uses US dollars because they know that the US dollar is safe. So because the United States government knows this, what they do is they force you to buy T-bills. And those T-bills have an interest rate. So if you want the security of having your money stored as US dollars, we're going to make you buy T-bills and charge you 7% interest. So now if you have a loan of $100 million, if you have $100 million, the US government is making $7 million a year off of your money as interest. So the US government acts as a bank through using T-bills. And there's just a lot of fascinating things about money and currency that just most people just are not familiar with how the world works with currency.
All right. Thank you, Brother Fast Nickel. Let me get this article in here. All right. This is Newsweek. I just added that article in the chat. Did Putin have cardiac arrest? What we know, what we don't. They have like a little video in here. I don't have the sound or anything. This was just after Putin met with Xi a couple of days ago. Matter of fact, it was last week. Several news outlets reported a rumor this week that Russian President Vladimir Putin had suffered a cardiac arrest collapsing in the presidential bedroom, excuse me. The report added that the 71-year-old Russian leader had to be resuscitated and taken to a special intensive care unit, the ICU, after security heard him falling to the floor. Putin's health has been a subject of rumors for years, with Kremlin secrecy letting speculation run about. And you know what? Listen, you can read the rest of that article. We don't really hear what goes on with President Biden's health either. And, you know, I believe that he has dementia, but it's up to everyone else, and it doesn't really matter.
Now,
Because-
Newsweek, is that a news article from the United States?
Yeah, that's a news. Yeah, that's a U.S. news.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's about the only time they're going to report about, him. Now,
Yeah.
that's the thing I'll be looking at now. And I'm like, all right, now they're saying this here. I mean, if the man had a heart attack, I wish him well, speedy recovery. But it's the West that wants that blood. They want that blood. They want it in a cup. They don't want it in his body. And this is where we at. And you said this earlier, Karis. Peace talk is not even coming in at the table. It can't even have a seat. Can't have a seat. No.
Man.
That's the thing. That's the thing. No peace at all. You come in and talking peace, you may have to take one. They're not looking at it, man. It's just like we go get what we want, or ain't nobody gonna get nothing. And that's the way I'm looking at what these people calling themselves setting up. No peace. This is completely, we will get it our way. And they're fighting for their way. All or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Go big or go home. They took up your motto.
Bro, Mike, the only thing I can say,
It's more than that. They're fighting for survival. Sorry to cut in there.
no, it's okay.
Well, brother ASAP, survival. They didn't have to fight for survival. Yah opened up a door for them. But he said they was unwilling to repent. That was a door, that was an olive branch he gave. Yah said he takes no delight in the destruction of a wicked person. He don't take delight in that. So already, he offered it also to Babylon. He offered it to Esau. Neither one of them was willing to compromise. And are we not at this point? Do you see Babylon saying, you know what? We've done some wicked things and we need to turn around and repent. No. That's what I'm seeing that right now. What they're doing is something. They're not trying to entertain repentance, much less peace. They're not looking at peace. And in searching the scriptures, Yah said his fury. I don't think that we can understand Yah's fury that is going to come upon this nation. That's something myself, I do not want to see. Y'all tell me go in the house, I'm going to go in the house. I'm not trying to look out the window because it's going to be something that if you were to glance at it, it's going to be seared inside of your mind.
Hey, bro,
It's going to be. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry, bro.
I was just going to ask for permission to cut in, but if
Go
you're
ahead,
still doing your point, go ahead, man.
No. Go ahead, bro.
Now, I was going to say this: despite how people may feel, And Karis know I sometimes evoke other people, but despite how people may feel about Tariq Nasheed or Black Authority, let me tell you, I would encourage people to go check out what they brought out this past weekend.
Oh
Tariq,
yeah. Let me share that link.
What was he?
The
What was he talking about?
yeah,
um,
because I was watching that. I was watching that. I'm not
well,
gonna lie. I
well,
was
well,
watching
well,
that.
bro, Karis, I know that you be at a Black Authority because I heard you on the phone with him a few times. And the
Yeah,
one
I
thing,
did call in. Yeah, I
it,
called in a couple times on him. Yeah.
and the one thing, he respects you. Like every time y'all would finish talking, he'd always say, thank you very much. Please give us a call again, brother. So you,
Yeah, I got to
like I
get
said,
that spec. Got to get that. No,
but no,
will
Tariq
that
said
help my algorithm numbers if I mention Tariq Nasheed or Jason Black? Will that? No, just
it'll probably hurt it, but anyway.
I'm getting gentleman exactly.
Listen, the
but
Most High could use anyone for anything
but
purpose.
no. But Tariq said, and he brought up a good point. We're the black people. Where's FBA? We are, and there were a lot of people because I was on that live, and me included. We were saying, y'all's telling us to stay in the house, close our door, lock our door.
Yep.
I mean, he was saying how he's been going to different places because Tariq travels everywhere, and he
Mm-hmm.
haven't been seeing very much of us, and that just had me so joy filled. My heart was beating so fast because I'm like, right now they're at the point to where they want to start coming after us. That's why I
Yep.
stay trained up now. I mean, sometimes I go punch underwater, carry my weights and do my twist because yeah, it's kind of like it's getting there for us. And you
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. The one thing
There
that
was
had me rolling.
an
The one.
issue with your sound.
Oh, can you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay, there we go. No, I said I'm not gonna lie. The one thing that had me rolling was she said, if they try to make you say, don't punch down. He said, well, darn it. He said, I'm punching down and just slapping all these hairlines. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that had me rolling. Slapping
he did.
hairlines.
He did.
Was it going? Was he going to knock the hairlines back further?
He said,
I mean, this is me. I mean, Tariq Nasheed does say some good things, but be wary. He's married to one of them and their family, so I really don't trust him all that much. But that's just me. So,
Hmm.
but I mean, anyone, like I said, anyone could be used by the Most High to
Yeah,
bring a purpose.
that's true.
But I don't know. Tariq Nasheed doesn't sit well with me because I know he's with them folk and his wife or whatever. He's half of them. So just be wary.
Yeah, listen, the Most High uses who the Most High uses. That's just how that's gonna go.
Yeah.
There's some things that will be said, and there are some things that we already know. Yeah,
and he brought up
no,
another good point. He brought up another good point that they're kind of making us the fall guy for it. They're
yeah,
already talking about BLM support what Palestine did,
mhm.
what the PAL did, and look here. I'm gonna tell everybody in this room the ideology I believe in personally, but as far as the group, I've spoken against that group many times. I've wrote articles against that group. I've TikToked against that group. We don't support that group. Y'all just watch out. I'm just telling, especially black women, watch out.
Well, that's an interracial couple, Alphabet and um and the lady, the black lady, she'll let she got it all on YouTube. She letting you know she's a witch, and she let you know that she do have conversation with what is that wicked angel name, Aziel, and it's all on YouTube. Now I'm gonna tell you something. It was T.
Isn't that Gargamel's cat from the Smurfs?
Exactly.
Word,
Yeah.
Gargamel?
Yes, that cat is named after one of the wicked demons.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and And she went on YouTube telling this is what she do. She said she talked to him and so, but they bold with this stuff now, man. They're bold with it. There's no more of the demons controlling the world, but being in the closet. No, demons are coming out. Then they letting it be known. Hey, unfortunately, you're saying sisters, they falling for it because the demons give off a false security of power that is absolute against Yah. That's a very dangerous position to be in. Very dangerous. Why do you think here in the West, a sister can call the police on a brother and that man is going to jail? That's a false sense of security.
They want our women to be uncovered and say it's freedom. That's the point.
Yeah. And and for the ones that's not really awoke, they see that as power. They see that as power, and all it's doing is damaging not just that black man, but even her black kids. She not seeing that. She not seeing that the full ramifications of her actions. But this is what the devil do, and we're the only people that use that. You don't see any other woman on this planet that has a false sense of security other than this black woman. Why are the demons so concentrated upon our people? Concentrated upon us. You can't hardly watch TV no more. I don't even watch BET Music Awards no more. It's been years. Because our people, we going too low. We're too low, and they want to depict our sisters as always booty shaking and things of that nature. And if they just get one clip of our sisters doing something, they know, post it. Young black man come out there like he just causing havoc. Post it. Everything about us is put out to the world. And for us to be so hated, these people are fighting to be us. The Japanese, the Chinese people, do you know that they have a way of kinking up their hair so they can have an afro like a black person? But the Asians, lined up, trimmed down to a T. This is what one Asian guy said. He said, "Yeah, all the Japanese girls, they love them when their hair is like that."
But bro, Mike, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I don't know if you guys saw this, but there was literally this Asian woman who made herself into Kobe Bryant, like blackface and all and everything. It was crazy.
Oh,
She
no,
did.
it
She
kind
was
of reminds
mocking
me of the
him.
movie.
No, she literally did makeup to look like Kobe Bryant, and it was kind of eerily similar, but you could tell. But it was weird that she wanted to dress up as Kobe Bryant.
Get Out. If y'all haven't seen that movie, y'all need to watch that movie. I know it's old. I recently watched it, and what you said, brother, brought that movie to the forefront. If y'all haven't seen it, check that out. It's called Get Out.
Yeah, but this is the world we live in. We seeing you literally seeing. It's really 3 wars, but you're only seeing 2. It's 3. It's 3 wars, and you have it's us that make it. That's the 3rd one, but it's not like we out there causing havoc. That 3rd world, that 3rd person that's in the war, and we don't even recognize it, it's us. That's who it is. And they know this. Now, with this Farrakhan thing, man, that's if it plays out the way we're thinking, that's gonna be one of the major blows. And the sad thing about it is they're fighting a war. And if this stuff hits the fan, if we thinking that the way it's going to play out, and they finding out you're not the people of the book, and you fighting the war, that's not a good look. Hey, you had the world around here want the world to feel sorry for these particular people. You say you was this here, and you're not. Man, can you imagine if Farrakhan goes in there and pull up all this information that we have already? And especially if Dante come, if they use just some of his stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh
Can
yeah.
you imagine it?
Exactly. Well, let's discuss. We're going to discuss that here in a second. But right now, we're going to take time for a paid promotion. Actually, it's not paid promotion. I just want to say that. But a promotion for Question Night Africa. And then we'll have brother Mike finish up his thoughts, and then we'll go to Sister Chantel.
No,
Tunawageni kama Mheshimiwa Sebastian Kapufi, mbunge, ambao ni wadau wa maendeleo kutoka Marekani. Wadau wa maendeleo kutoka Marekani. Karibuni sana.
All right, we're back. Okay, thank you, family. Again, please donate at questionightafrica.org. Also, if you like Covenant Awakenings in this channel, you can please donate via Cash App. I have the information scrolling below. Brother Mike, go ahead, finish up with your comment, because as you said, the cat will be many cats will be let out the bag with Brother Farrakhan and his actions. So
yeah. I mean, lastly, the thing I was looking at, there's a change in power, and it's happening right now. And it's just funny you was talking about donation. I'm gonna tell you what's happening. Money is already being set up. You're going to start seeing in the next couple of months, you're going to start seeing our people with money. And then, back in the days, we always said, hey, you got to, ask the Gentiles for money. Now, I think those days are short, and they're going to start seeing, wait a minute, where's all this black wealth coming from? Yeah, your donations, Karis, majority of it is going to come from our own people. If we go back in biblical times, anytime Israel needed something, that leader of Israel at any particular time, if it was Moses, they even when Moses wasn't there and Israel was getting shady and wanted to build that golden calf, who brought all of their gifts to build that calf? Israel did. They came in and boom, dumped all their gold, silver, whatever they needed to get it done, they brought it. And that went on throughout years. Israel will always come and give The only thing that hindered us is we went into slavery, and they in the world broke us up. That's what stopped that. But now here we are. We will have that opportunity again to use our unrighteous riches to further a cause, not for us individually, but for us collectively as a nation. And I had it back to you, Brother Karras.
All right, thank you, Brother Mike. Sister Chantel, shalom.
Shalom. I want to say shalom to the brothers and sisters in the chat.
Cheerio.
And to cheerio, darling. How are you?
Oh, no,
and
splendid.
Yes, and to all the esteemed members of the panel. It's funny. I was just listening to what Garth was saying, and I'm going to get to what you said as well, Michael. But I was listening to what Garth was saying about the Asians. I think I was Sister Maria said something about all those people that have been, the ones who have been denying their Afro heritage, especially the Hispanic side, and the ones who, some of them could pass for the other side, and are quite happy to deny the other side. It's like you soon are going to be changing your opinion real soon. And
you lot. You gotta say,
yeah, you lot are going to be changing your opinion. Sorry, I kind of forgot the character. For real, they're going to be changing their opinion. And in regards to the Asians, it's like, I kept wondering why the need to appropriate everything. We're so at the bottom, but yet still these people, and it's gotten even more. They're doing it more than what they were doing before. In fact, for a long time, they weren't copying us. They wanted to be like them. They still make their skin pale, which is really weird. You want to have an afro with pale skin? That's just, ugh. But it's
the lining of the hair that stands out. They lighten up their skin. That's what that is.
Yeah. It's like you're looking like the Joker now when you do things like that. Just but it's like, because naturally they're a lot darker than how they look.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, Chantel, the Joker. Come on.
Well, man, the joke's on them. But anyway, that's right. Do the laugh. But it's funny how they're trying to do those afros, and for me, it's all, well, what is this leading to? Like, there's this transition. Why are you all trying to be like us? It's almost like they know something. Look, the Most High woke up everyone, not just us, everyone. They're just not talking about it with the whole world. We're very opinionated. We're out there. We say what we're saying. Before we came out and saying everything, we made sure that we had everything on lockdown. We knew the scriptures, because we know that we're a hated people and that nobody takes us seriously. So we've come out and we've been saying this, but they know just as much as us, if not more so, because they've always known who we were. It was mainly us that needed to wake up, but some of the laymen of all these other 83 nations, but it's like the Most High has literally, it's almost like we've all been asleep and he's pulled the blankets off of us, like, wake up now, all of you. And he's woken us up, but we're the only ones that are really talking about it. They probably talk about it amongst themselves in their own, in their own little forums and that. And that's the difference between them and us. We're not in their forums trying to find out what they're doing. And I wouldn't be surprised if they made sure that in order for you, our forums, our access to our spaces is pretty much, we don't have security measures like they do. They probably make sure that you're subscribed. They take pictures. They want you to send a picture of who it is so that they know your face and they know who's coming in, so they can talk freely about us against us. We're not like that. We don't see, this is the thing. We don't think like them, but I can guarantee you they know. And I guarantee you that they're talking about everything, the same things we talk about, but from the opposite side of the spectrum. And they're also talking about, well, what is our contingency plan? What if we do this? What if we do that? You know, they know who we are and they know what's coming to them. You look around, just walk and look around at them, and you can see the anxiousness in their face. And it's almost like, not only is it just anxiousness, but it's like they look towards you, not just look at, some of them are still filled with hatred, but some of them, it's a look of, oh, I wish I could just hold on to you and ask you to just, I know you guys are leaving, but I wish I could, but I know you're going to hate me. And I don't know if, I know if it was me if it was reverse, I would hate you and I would tell you this, but it's like when we don't think like you. And there's this desperation where they want to say something, but it's fear and it's pride, you know? So it's funny because, like, you know, Michael saying what he was saying about, you know, all this, oh, is that, oh my gosh, I can hear my voice. Don't do that. Sorry.
Feedback.
I want to hear my voice as we're going along. It's just creepy. But yeah, so it's just listening to you guys and hearing how, just knowing, like, they know something's up, they know, but they don't want to say. It's like, you don't want to open up those bills, even though you know if you don't, you're going to be damned for it. And it's like, I know I've got so much money to pay back, but if I don't look at it, it doesn't exist. No, it exists and it's happening. And you're right, Michael. The way the Most High said he does not delight in the destruction of the wicked. But there's also others that says that he delights in the destruction of the wicked. But it's not that he delights in it. It's he delights in judgment, in justice. Mm-hmm. And it's so funny because I want to break down something, if I may. It's very, listen, I know that there's some of us who have been literally seeing the number. For me, I've just been seeing the number 1111 or 11s or whatever. It's what's that, Garth?
Yeah, I'm seeing 1111 either once every other day or almost every day.
All the time. All the time. But there's something that I wanted to share with you guys, and it's actually quite telling, because I was reading it, and it's Revelation 22 verse 11, and like I said, 11:11, but now we've got three 11s. And this is a warning to not only just to you know, us or for them, but also for Christians, for Israelites who are trying to not deny who they are and just all about Christianity and saying things like, oh, it's just sin and God will deal with sin altogether. So, you know, we just have to do whatever and we should forgive and everything. But this is what I'm going to read, and I'm going to quickly break it down. First of all, I'll just read it and then I'll break it down, come back and break it down. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. And he that is filthy, let him be filthy still. He that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is holy, let him be holy still. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. He that does not seek justice. For all of those who is like, oh, you don't need reparations. Oh, just get over it. Oh, this, that, and the other. And coming from them and also our own people, you're not seeking justice. You don't want justice. So the Most High is saying, continue in that. Continue. It's like we're seeing people just being this way, and we look at them and we're like, what is wrong with you? Can't you see who we are? And even if you can't see who you are, who we are, why can't you just seek justice? But they don't want to, because that's part of this. They are sealed now. He that is filthy, let him be filthy still. He that is, if you don't seek justice, if you're not for justice, you're going to continue in your filth. You don't want to be cleansed. You don't want to be told anything. You want to continue and continue and continue. This is why we see them literally going from one thing and everything we've plateaued on their wickedness and their evil behavior. Then we see them drop down another, and it's like, how far can you go? But they could keep going. He that is righteous, let him be righteous still. Those who are seeking after righteousness, those who, even though I keep dropping and I keep falling, but I have by the Most High's grace and His Holy Spirit, He keeps picking me up, and I'm seeking after that righteousness. And he that is holy, let him be holy still. Because you seek after righteousness, and you want the Most High, it is like the air that you breathe. You know you cannot live without Him. Because of that, He says you will be holy, set apart. I'm removing you from all of those who don't want justice, all of those who continue in their filth and their wickedness. I have to remove you because you're seeking after righteousness. You cannot be around them anymore. So move. You are set apart. You are mine. They are for the devil. Leave them be. Because it's going to come a time when we're going to have to, just friends and family, we're just going to have to be like, let the chips fall where they may. That's how it's going to have to be. It's horrible. And it's some of us, not even some of us, all of us at one point or another, or even probably more so now, we all cry ourselves to sleep. We all cry and we're in tears and we're praying, Father, wake up our people. Be with at the very least, be with our family and our friends. That's what we do. That's how we are. And they live as if it's 2019, and they can't see what is going on. But I wanted to share that because, yeah, that's on me. The fact that it's 311s, that's like a massive warning sign.
Well, you know what? Just when you said that, because Carol was showing something on the screen. And I never paid attention to 11, but I just seen it today. And I'm like, wait a minute, what this is talking about? I just seen the 11 because on the little sidebar of the news article, Carol's was showing it was a BET thing on the side of it. And so one guy it was like he was at a music award and he had 11. He had 11 on his jacket or something. That's the only time I looked at it. And I was like, then you come on and you said this here. I was like, wait a minute, what's going on with 11? But it's something.
And just the other night, I watched that movie, the one where they do the double of Us, and it was focused on 11. So she brought up 11. I'm freaking.
Yes.
Yeah, I was too. And then Sister Rook, she just posted, she said, I'm looking at 11 right now.
Let me give you some what it says on Google from what I Googled. It says here, some believe the biblical meaning of the number 11 is associated with things that would be considered imperfect, a disorganization of systems, and a disorder of or chaos of things. Ain't that what we're seeing now? If you're seeing, so I just want to say this, it says here, if you're seeing 11:11 repeatedly, it is likely that, they say God, it is likely that Yahuwah is merely trying to get you to notice him, or he's trying to warn you. They say notice. We know what time we're living in. It's not notice. We already noticed. It's warning.
Didn't Yahushua say, aren't there only 12 hours in a day?
Yes, he did.
We're living in the 11th hour.
Yes, he did. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It says here, perhaps you'll face an obstacle soon, and he wants you to stay strong and remain faithful. Or here's what they put in there at the bottom. Or maybe you haven't been to church in a while and it's time to reconnect with him. He says, get out of her, my people. But, these people always got to put their little, their little piece in, so.
That movie, Get Out. Get Out. It's funny. I seen that. And then you're saying that too. It's
12 hours in a day.
Sister Chantel, I gotta ask you, brother Asaph. I know I sent it to Michael and Asaph. I think I did, but I can't reach out to you, Sister Chantel. Did you see that video where they had all those "Is he real?" flags hanging on people's houses? But one guy
with the birds?
No. The one guy had the PAL hanging on his house, and the police went up there and tried to confront him, and the guy really like held his own. And I don't know if the
I
guy was a
haven't.
W.
I
Yeah,
haven't.
yeah. People walking by spitting on his driveway, spitting in his yard. Yeah,
I haven't seen it, but
it was something.
it. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Michael said that how people are going to start waking up, and the question is, who are you really, and why are we fighting this war? And I feel like that's going to be one of the reasons, out of sheer desperation, when it says that they will bow down and worship before your feet and to know that I have loved you. Because once the world, that's why I've said this so many times. Let me say it again. These people have not been bothered about the fact that we've woken up. Their main concern was, we don't want the rest of the world to wake up. Us telling the truth and, just being who we are. Because like I said, nobody really takes us seriously. We know this, right? That when we're being serious, nobody takes us serious. When we're acting the fool, then everybody's like, oh, look at those Negroes. Ain't they cute? They only listen, they
Round
only
and
want to watch
round,
us.
round and
Exactly.
round. They just want us to be the clone
Mm-hmm.
Tyrones.
Exactly. Exactly. But the minute we start speaking truth, that's when it's like, no, we ain't trying to listen to that. Or these Negroes, they're always trying to look and take somebody else's culture. I'm gonna try and post it in the link if I can, but there was this documentary that somebody did on this platform talking about the who the Sumerians are. And he's basically saying that the early people, he said this, that a lot of people want to say that black people always like to be taking the cultures and say, oh, they're just trying to take other people's cultures. But he says, but the fact is that when you go back in the past, we're actually seeing that they were the original people of the Sumerians, the Babylonians, everything. I was like, oof. I was watching this last night, but I had to turn it off because I was so tired. And I thought, I'll pick this up another day. But if I can find it, I'll try and see if I can post it. I'll either post it in the chat or I'll post it in the comment section. But I think it's interesting to watch. But it's, they're starting to wake up. And the whole issue, this is why they enacted this thing that they've this squabble, this thing that they've got going on down there, because too much power was on us. And they've been taking a spiritual licking from, by these angels, and the forces of heaven have been beating down their side of things. And it's like, they're out of desperation. They had to do this. I mean, even the very words like Sister Deborah, she brought out what the word is actually a Hebrew word of the opposing the side and everything. I'm not going to say it because I'm not trying to, But then when I said to myself, see, I ask questions. I'm like, okay, so why would a people who is jihadist and staunchly against everything from this side, they're supposed to be completely crazed and, why would they name their group, their terrorist group, after your name? That means violence. Why would they name that after them? Sometimes it's just sometimes it's things that stare in your face. They're called this, and it's a Hebrew word, which means violence. And I'm like, who are we dealing with? Who is the powers behind this actual group? Answer the bloody questions.
CIA, Mossad, MI6, all of them.
No. The one thing I want to say is this: they're going to try to put us in it. You're American. You're Chantel, ASAP. You're British. You're Western. They're going to come after you like they're going to come after the rest of us. No, they're not. No, they're not. I mean, don't pick a side. I don't stand with nobody. I stand with the Most High, and I stand with my people. If you're black and you're of the stock of Judah or Ephraim, that's who I stand with alone, only, period. Point blank, period. I don't stand with nobody else. And those people, I mean, yeah, they have a history against us, both sides. Is he real? And the pal. and I can point that out. I can even itemize stuff within the past 3 or 4 years. Don't stand with neither one of them. They will pass right by us because they know who they want to go get. Sister Chantel, don't feed into that best. Don't even give a second thought to it. If those Gentiles want to play that stupid stuff and not cleave on to us and do right by us, let them deal with them. Because I'm gonna tell you, ISLAM ain't BSing. They're coming after them.
We ain't
I
have
tell
nothing
you,
to do with this.
Chantel,
Hmm.
think about this now, sis. Earlier this year, and I always go back to it, and I know I'm quite sure you know what I'm going to say, and Karis is too. We always used to say, well, we'll be back in 2 weeks and we go find out what the world has done. And that was earlier part of this year. Early part of this year. In 2 weeks, we come back, they did something. The world has went from this to that in a matter of 2 weeks. Now this stuff is happening in a matter of days, maybe hours.
Hmm.
And these are the things we used to talk about. And this year it just came and gone. This is what's the day? The day is the 24th.
Yeah.
Now, the sad thing about it is, truth be told, my mind was set on October the 11th. I did not know. Yesterday I just realized it was the 23rd. I went out on a site, and the guy was like, "Oh no, Mike, you way earlier, Mike." I said, "Man, what's today's date?" He said, "Today is the 23rd." I'm like, "Cause it's moving faster." Y'all said he's going to speed things up,
Mm-hmm.
and he is speeding things up. Things that are happening. Truthfully, it is impossible for us to keep up with what the world has got going on. If at first it was always about Ukraine. Ukraine took a back seat real quick when the claim that these people invaded Israel. And from that, it seemed like the news been saying that he been getting kind of jealous or something. Say, hey, what about Ukraine? Because Israel flat out just said, we on top. And they got the world to give a sympathetic ear to what's going on. But what made me think is what the brother from Unedited, how the television, they can say anything they want to say. They can say anything they want to say. They can move people with the devil's eye, because that's what it all boils down to being. Mm-hmm. It's the devil's eye, and they can take a. I'm gonna say it this way. Do you all remember this article where this white lady, and she said a black guy carjacked her with her 2 kids in it, and the detective, they drew a picture of the guy and everything.
Susan Smith.
You remember this?
Yeah.
You know where I'm going with it?
South Carolina or something like that?
Yeah, something like it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But she knew, all right, we got to blame this on black people. And they went in on it.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't even think, not a second thought. We got to find him. But when I seen the picture of him, he didn't have a top lip. I'm like, she lying?
He looked like a turtle.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
One black man don't have a top lip, though, man. Come on now. Just stop with this foolishness.
He
Oh,
smiles with just he smiles with just his bottom lip. His bottom
Yeah.
lip touches his nostrils.
And
Come
I'm
on,
They're
like,
that's not
nah.
us.
projecting now, man. You
That's
know
not
they're
us.
projecting.
Well,
They're
you know that's
Yeah.
the
projecting.
hole at the
Sorry.
bottom.
Good
But the
try.
thing
Nice
about
try.
it, was they knew if she wanted to get to have some more time to get her lies straight,
Mm-hmm.
you got it was like it's mandatory. And we just looking at the history of the Gentiles. A white lady said, "Oh, a black man raped me." Oh my goodness, that's the last thing you need to say. But they believe it. Emmett Till, that lady, she did the same thing. But once they did the investigation, they went on for but they were looking for this brother for a week. But black people, they was the first one to solve it. They said, she lying. A black man didn't do this.
Mm.
Black people were saying that before the police even thought about it. But they was hell bent on finding that black guy who didn't exist. But he did. But at the same time he didn't. They just wanted to find somebody who looked just close to him, and they wanted to interrogate him.
Be on the
This
lookout
is,
for a mail from 4/8 to 6/10.
yeah.
Hey, it's a good thing she didn't do it in 2012. Otherwise, she would have given it a description of Steven from Django. They would have been arrested Samuel L. Jackson.
Hmm. But this is the world now. They're seeing something different about it. They can't yell that no more. That strength that they had is dying quickly. It's dying very quickly. This here talking about privilege. No, that privilege is, they see let me just say Islam. And the world do not view them as white people. Some of them white, just as white as white. But if they say Islam, oh, you may appear white, but you brown or a very light brown. This is how he's seeing it, and and they're really. I'm seeing they're setting themselves up for a massive blood spilling of all time. That is what I am seeing. And it's as if, and I could be wrong, I think there's going to be a nation or a group of people in a matter of days or hours that will be taken off deleted off of this planet. And it's going to be very bloody. Period. We're not looking at no peace, no entertainment of peace. You can't even say period. You can't say it. They don't want it. It's just like in World War I. And it was like the historians, they go in there and they talk about it. They said they were so eager to go to war, to which they never have ever been in until they got in it. When they got into World War I, that's when they realized, oh, this was a mistake. They doing the same thing. They geeking up for something. For the ones who don't know, they don't know. They just all geeked up about it. But for the ones that do know, they know exactly what they're fighting for. They fighting for their life.
Hey,
They trying to maintain their life.
Michael, I'm sorry, but you said geeked up.
Yeah, they all geeked up. Yeah.
I was thinking that brought me back to Scarface when Tony Montana, towards the end, is sniffing up that mountain of yayo.
Yeah, but he had to get high. I'm gonna tell you something about that. When he killed his sister, when he killed women. He did something. He killed his sister, yeah, her husband, but he did not know that they was married. So now that guilt got to him so bad, he had to get high. He didn't want he did not want that on him. He didn't want it. The
point I'm making is that these folks, these W's, are having to snip their mountain of meth and opioid because they know that they're about to be taken out the game.
Yeah, but at the same time, olive branch was offered to them, and it's still being offered to the masses of people. But with what, like Sister Chantel said, they have a hatred of us that's going to kill them. That's the problem. They have a deep-seated hate for us that's going to kill them. Oh, and it just matter if you say, all we want is peace. We're the only ones. We're the only ones who want to see peace on this earth, and especially amongst our own people. We're the only ones that's talking peace, not on the level of what they got going on. We don't have no say in that. But when we're talking amongst ourselves, that's what we're looking at. A time where we can get back together as a nation. That's what we talk about. And working together, healing ourselves, and loving and respecting our brothers and sisters. That's our main goal. Their goal is so much demonically based, because the scripture says, Yah said he's going to make sure that the devil complete his conquest, the devil's conquest. He said he's going to put clamps in his jaw and force him to complete his conquest. That's what Yah said he's going to do. And he's doing it. He is doing it. You came up against your creator. You came up against your creator, and you wanted my power. You wanted I'm going to just say Godship. You said that you want to rise to the heavens and be like the Most High. You cannot have that position. He said he's not going to share his power or his glory with no one. That's a bold individual to be part of creation, to come up against your creator. That's a very bad position to be in. But that's what he laid out, and he's showing it. And you know, the thing about it, brother, is this. Yah gave him time to prove his point. Gave him thousands of years to prove his point. He said, you got my people. You got them. It's just like with Job. He said, do what you think you need to do, but you better not take his life. That's what he told him. And it's like the same thing he told us, you got my people. You will not destroy my people. I will forgive my people of their sins and so on and so on. This is what Yah said. Who's going to call his hand? Who's going to counsel our Elohim? No one.
Absolutely.
No one.
Can I just quickly read something? It's from Ecclesiasticus 9. It's just 3 verses that I wanted to read, and it's in regards to what's going on over there as well. Okay, it's Ecclesiasticus 9 verse 13. I'll start 13, and I'm going to be jumping down to, and I'll let you know what verse it is. Okay, verse 13. Keep thee far from the man that hath power to kill. So shalt thou not doubt the fear of death. And if thou come unto him, make no fault, lest he take away thy life presently. Remember that thou goest in the midst of snares, and that thou walkest upon the battlements of the city.
Yes.
Then I'm going to read verse 15. It says, let thy talk be with the wise, and all thy communication in the law of the Most High. The last one I'm going to read is verse 18, which says, a man of ill tongue is dangerous in his city, and he that is rash in his talk shall be hated. This is what's coming for them. I just want to say that Ecclesiasticus 9, verse 13, what was it? 13 and 15 and 18. That's what I read from.
Apocrypha, sis?
Yes, that is.
Okay, thank you.
And when you start, and I notice when you read, when at least when I read the Bible, the scriptures, the judgment seems like, and you start, you take the judgments or what's happening, and you're literally seeing. You are literally seeing judgment being played out right as you speak. And I mean, it's something else. And then you have the brothers and sisters coming together, and this is their take on it. Because what you said earlier, Sister Chantel, about 11, and I don't know what it is. I mean, I just noticed the cat, he had 11 on his jacket. And, I'm like, okay, man. Then you came in and said what you said. It's something how Yah will use his people for them to take notice. Because what you said, you have brothers and sisters in the comments saying, yeah, I'm looking at 11 now, and things of that nature. It's just something how Yah uses his people to wake them up. And then Carson came back and said this. Did not Yahushua say, are there not 12 hours in a day? And it made like, oh man, that government, are we in the 11th hour? But this is how Yah want us to, he get that that circulation in the brain to move, and for us to really truly start to take thought of scriptures, encourage one another, and for us to just keep it moving. Yeah, we seeing what's going on, but that's the beauty of it. When you have individuals who minds, who thoughts are pretty much lined up with the scripture. We may disagree on some small things, but there's nothing that that's gonna be earth shattering. We get then talking about I don't believe in the Messiah. Well, I mean, I think I have to take my leave then, because I mean, I'm not even trying to entertain that. That's just me personally, but that's the beauty of it. It's when you have, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Be a devil. Now I'm gonna say I don't want to be a devil and not believe in the Messiah, because he said through his own mouth, the only way to the Father is through him. But I just want to kind of feed on what Chantel said, and it's gonna be very quick, because she said that these folks, these W's, Gentiles love to hear us when we're being silly, talking about Cardi B, Nicki Minaj beefs or twerking. But when we're on some serious stuff, they hate to hear us. Sister, I refer you to the Cat Williams comedy skit. Look how somber people those people got, not us, but those people, when he said
they will only listen to it when it's in joke. They can just about stomach it when they can laugh and say, it's funny.
When he brought up reparations, they weren't laughing then.
You might as well have told them that's it for your empire, because it will be. Because that's what he said. You will, in order for them to pay reparations and for it not to be some joke, it will have to be something that it is them going into captivity. It's the only way they can pay it. They could have paid it when they could have given it freely, even if they had just left us alone. That would have even have been enough. But they said, don't judge us by the sins of our fathers. So the Most High held his hand up and said, okay, I won't do that. I'll judge you by your own sins. So now it's like they haven't stopped. They've still continued the sins of their fathers. They haven't changed. They're still doing the same thing. So the Most High is looking at you and he's judging you for the things that you do today. Have they stopped colonization? No. Have they stopped killing us? No. Have they stopped putting laws in place to make sure that we stay underneath them? No. How are you different from your forefathers?
Exactly. You know,
In order for you to, oh, sorry, go on.
Sorry to cut in, but the thing is that the perpetrator wants to be judge and jury. This is what I was saying to this so-called academic yesterday, that claimed that she had a doctorate degree. I said, your doctorate degree is not better than my doctorate degree, and neither is your reasoning, but you're reasoning from the perspective of your ancestors. We're the ones that are wrong, then we're telling you, and the descendants of those who are wrong, we're telling you how to make amends for the damage, but you won't make amends for the damage. But eventually you'll be forced to do so. From my own perspective, we can see that their birth rate is going down. Italy has had no babies born in the last 3 or 4 months, not one.
That's incredible. Like, I don't understand if people can understand how incredible that is to not have a country have any recorded births. That is almost unfathomable. That's a miracle.
That is a miracle.
That's
yeah,
mind
just on a
boggling, bro.
different sort.
But
Against them.
why they not having babies though?
Because they're being judged. That's judgment. What do you
I've
think
made you
that's
small amongst the nations.
What happened
I have
with the
made you
Philistines?
small amongst the nations.
The
Esau.
Philistines did what? They sent gold tumors and gold rats to do what? To and then they put it on the cart with the Ark of the Covenant, and they put the 2 bulls on it and let that thing go. And so we can't have this here no more. We're not getting pregnant. We're not having no kids. That is literally, that's a curse. Because why? Because when that generation dies out in a few years, there's nobody going to be there, or they're going to be so small they're just going to be conquered. Hey, thanks for your stuff.
And moreover, it collapses their economy because they can't afford to pay no pensions. They can't afford to do anything at all.
Yes.
And they are Kittim, right? They're the ones who mixed with Esau. And I know for a fact that
his son Zepho.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, Zepho.
So, not just Zepho, not just
when I heard it, I said, why don't they let the Pope pray for them and reverse this thing?
A prayer from the wicked. Are you crazy?
Asaph likes to make fun.
Emperor Palpatine.
Minor.
It's part of our culture. It's like when Elijah was mocking them false priests that their Elohim is gone on holiday or maybe he's asleep.
One of my favorites. I'm telling you.
I'm going to feed off of Chantel, what she's been saying for a little bit, because she's been bringing up some dimes. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, we listen to you, Rojo. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying.
Listen to you, Roger. Go ahead.
I was saying she brought up another point about how everybody was wanting to be like white folks, like up to 20 years ago. And I have to evoke another name, Salt of the Earth, mainly Brother Cleo and Benaiah Israel, when they had that program where they said we finally put a value on our blackness, which started during our awakening in 2015. I know that's when it happened for me personally, because before that, I couldn't stand being black. I hated it. And y'all can stone me for it.
No,
but that's
brother,
my truth to the family.
I did not like being black until that George Floyd thing, and then it's like, oh, why do they hate me so much?
Okay, see, exactly. So I mean, like, with our different stages of our awakening, we're like Ron DMC. We're proud to be black. There's nothing like being black. I don't care what we're going through. At the end of the day, we got our blackness. Just like those W's that what's his name, Lyndon B. Johnson taught them that no matter what low stage they're in, at least they're not a Negro. Okay, well, guess what? Now we didn't reverse the field. No matter how low we are, we still got our blackness, and y'all still want it. We know where we're headed to, and we know what we're coming out of. I just want to tell you, you've been dropping some gems all morning since you got on, girl.
You know, but I mean, now where this place, they haven't had babies in 3 months. Where is this at again?
It's in Italy. Italy. No babies. It's coming up to 4 months now since one baby hasn't been born.
And I'm trying to figure out, is any blacks there?
Yeah, that's what it's a bunch of migrants on over there coming from out of
They're talking about their own people haven't. Look, whenever they say anything, it's always their own. Just like when they talk about Americans having a low fertility rates and stuff, they're not talking about us. They're talking about them.
Oh yeah, because you know we going over there. We gonna be dropping babies like we dropping pocket change.
And those white girls
green
over there,
light bunnies.
But that is mind blowing, bro. I ain't worried about a white girl, but I'm just saying this is mind blogging.
No, Michael, they're drugging brothers over there trying to get them to have sex with them. You don't get it. Stay out of Italy. They will drug you, and you would be like, you'd be like True Blood. You have a line of them tied to a bed, brother. I'm telling you, I'm not even laughing. It's not even hyperbole. Don't go out
there. Give me your cannoli,
So Mike.
Hey, Mike.
I want your cannoli.
Mike, listen.
Let me stop before I get you banned.
When you go back to to Tanzania, do not travel through Italy. Okay, Mike? You may go missing. And you may get force-fed nothing but Viagra.
Don't end up like Othello.
Hey, Mike, I don't want you to. I don't want to see you coming around here with no ham hock pizza babies now.
Man, no, I'm not even trying to entertain that one. But man, I'm saying that I mean, I never. That's my first time ever hearing this. But when you say that, then about this, they haven't had any babies being born in 3 months, going on 4 months. That is, man, that's very weighty. I mean, because it was the Romans that came in and destroyed Jerusalem. Mm-hmm. It was the Romans that did that.
But here's actually a fun fact. Here is a fun fact, everyone. The Romans are still over there now in Aelia Capitolina. Those are your Romans. Understand who they were, where they came from as converts.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, and more. Yes, I've been saying this for the longest. Listen, Onculus, they've said it's in their books. They know who they are.
Yes.
There's someone who wrote a book.
11a in their books says
that someone who wrote
Onculus converted. Averta Sarah 11.
Yes, ironically, he was the nephew of Emperor Hadrian, who was I think it was Hadrian, because he was the one that was also he basically said that he was not only did he build that wall, but he also turned and said that he was going to build another Jerusalem to ensure that the Jew or the Yehudim never had, that they didn't have any more problems from the Yehudim no more, the Judeans. That was because some of them actually went back to Jerusalem to try and rebuild and try to fight off the Romans after all of the people had literally poured out. There was some that was around the region, around the area, and they kind of came back in and was trying to build back up. And when they heard about it, when the Romans heard about it, they said, no, we need to completely destroy them. And then he said, we're going to build another Jerusalem. How much you want to bet that is it? And they're living in that same place there.
Well,
when they said we want to go back to our home, that's what they were talking about.
Which home is that you're talking about?
Well, the
What
one they're
area?
fighting over right now.
I don't think that's our home.
No, not ours. Theirs. That's the other Jerusalem that they
Yes,
tried to build up to hide.
yes, that's correct. I believe
Yes,
our
that's right.
Jerusalem is over there in Ethiopia, sub-Saharan Africa area.
I believe that too.
I
Yeah.
believe that
And
as well.
Israelites are fighting for that place. It's like, what is in there? You're going to give up a whole continent of wealth to just be, you're just copying them. That's just so dumb.
Self-hate. Self-hate. That's all it is.
It is.
The only problem I have with that, I ain't gonna say problem. I'm gonna say issue. It's the people who call themselves the authority of making the maps. Because I seen one old map. I never seen Israel or Jerusalem stamped on it in that area.
Because when you look at the old maps, what actually ended up happening when you're looking at the Ottoman Empire, number one, they get mad because why? Because they have Palestine, right? They have Palestine. What it was is that you had the Nabateans and you had Edom, Mount Seir, Petra. All those places are really the Edomite high country. Because why? Because who dwelt in the clefts? That's Edom. That's Obadiah.
Yeah.
Esau, yeah.
Yeah, Esau.
So literally they're fighting over their promised land. That is their land, their namesake, right? But they get described as Tyre, right? Tyrus, all these other places, which is not Israel, or excuse me, not Yasharal, but are really their genealogical namesakes. That is their ancient structures.
And one point I'd like to add, Brother Karras, is that in Second Esdras, someone brought it out. I didn't even know this. It says that our land would be hidden for an appointed time. If you look at Second Esdras 7 point. What am I doing? Like a calculation? 7:26. Second Esdras 7:26. It says the land will be hid for an appointed time.
Yes.
And then the scriptures also.
Here's the thing: is the land really hidden, or is it just that we just refuse, or most of our people refuse to, accept it? And that's really what it is. That most of our people refuse to accept it because why? Because it's something that they are. I would say the authorities or the scholarly authorities per se, or whatever they want to call themselves, have stated that have stated that the land over there via the Balfour Declaration is that land. You see what I'm saying? Unfortunately, we know that is actually incorrect.
Hey, Karras, I have two questions for you, brother. Regarding what you just said, is Tyre really Morocco, where Alexander the moron had thrown rocks into the ocean and built a bridge to go over there to that island and grab them?
That I don't know.
I think it's Tunisia. It's Tunisia and Carthage. And if you read the Jasher, it says that Kittim had an alliance with the king of Africa, King Agnias, and if you read the scriptures, they're literally the king of Africa and the Kittim were like one nation, and then they were fighting, and then Esau kind of disbanded them, and they were just turning on each other until they all just decided to become one.
Got you. Okay.
Can I say something to you, Garth? Though it's in regards to what you just said about Jerusalem being hidden in. I think it's in was it
Second Esdras 7:26?
Yeah. Do you want to know what's really going to bake your brain? When you think about it, the what's really funny is that it says that Jerusalem is going to be hidden, and we know hidden. It just means it's hidden to knowledge. It's not hiding. It's not under some deep cloud or anything. But it's it's hidden, right? And the knowledge to that, or part of the knowledge to that, is actually in a book that is hidden. So it's the word hidden is apocrypha. Apocrypha means hidden, right? And they put that in the apocrypha, which means hidden. It's really weird. It's almost like they're playing mind. No, it's not almost. They are playing mind games with us.
No, almost. They are playing. Yeah.
The broom
No, but
says
the
there
second
are
question
no
I have for
coincidences.
Karis, the second question I have for Karis is, do you give the most credence to the Gleason map or to that other cartographer from Rome? I can't remember his name though.
You said the Gleason. That's going to be a question for Teo.
Okay, all right. Because I got the Gleason map up, but I don't know if you could discern it because I can't make heads or tails of it.
That's a question for Teo.
All right.
You know, truth be told,
I know where my lane's at, and I stay in my lane. That's a question for Teo.
I think it's. I don't think the map is going to be thoroughly correct until Yah put us back in that land, and from there, boom. I can truthfully, I can trust us to do that. I can't trust them to do that. Because they're going to do it. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, Mike, also let them know. Look, the people that actually know the land and know where everything is at are the people on the land. It's actually
the
folks that are there.
Mm-hmm.
We've only made these suppositions and these juxtapositions based off of the inferences of what these so-called Western scholars give us. But when you actually step foot on the land, like that's what the Ish do. The Ish step foot on they step their feet on the land. They're going down there in plainfolds to do what? To understand what's happening. To see what's actually happening, to realize what's actually happening. That's how they get these customs. They get the customs from the folks down there. Understand.
Well, what does it say? The enemy ain't come but to kill, steal, and destroy.
Listen, I'm going to tell you this. They ain't going to come. They're not going to get evacuated to Uganda and be like, oops, this is actually the real land. That ain't going to happen. Sorry, we were right in 1918 that we should have gone to Uganda before we went to this. Or excuse me, what was it, 1896?
Yeah.
No. Like I had said, these folks are coming back to Europe. This is what the Throwdown's all about. So go ahead, hold on, everybody, hold on to your money. Believe in this mammon, and you will have a nice open air prison that will be so comfortably afforded to you. Because everything that you've seen going on in Gaza, that's going to be done to you all. See, they didn't understand what that really meant. And what this captivity was going to look like for them. Oh, and if you think something, or if you want to Google something, or if you want to ask something, don't worry. Everything is monitored. From the way you sleep.
Can we give them a Run DMC chain?
Well, yeah, that chain is going to be a digital one.
I'm starting to think that Kilimanjaro mountain is Mount Zion.
Mm-hmm. But I mean,
that's actually what they say, because there's actually they call it the Moshe on over there, and they're Levites, and they go down there to visit with them. They go down there to talk to them. Surprise, surprise.
The King of England is going down there with his wife, with his scarecrow.
I was wondering.
Well, don't get mad at me, and don't ban me from the panel. But since he's going down there, I hope he bakes with the UV rays. I hope he goes down there as a person, comes back as a Pillsbury Doughboy, or as a beef
Well,
jerky.
did you see what happened to the King and Queen of Netherlands?
No, what happened? What happened, Sister Chantel?
Yeah,
Well,
man,
there
with
was
that
a man that
tussle.
was, yeah, they were getting cussed. Like, get out, give us back pay us reparations. I said, I hope, like, when I found out somebody like they were bringing, why are they going there? You know the world hates you. You know what time it is. Why are you going there? It's almost
No,
like they just
they,
saw what happened to this, and now these two idiots from this country feel, oh, Camilla, darling, let's go over to the dark continent. Let's go to Africa. Oh, Charles, let's do that. Oh yes, let's. Like what? Why?
they doing that. They had that privilege for hundreds of years. I mean, and who was that? The Kenya president. He the one that said it. He said, "We got all these stipulations against our own brothers." He said, "But a white person can walk in through the front door of Africa, walk about on dangerous streets, having the faith that they cannot be touched or they will not be touched." Now,
That's going to
you
come
look,
to an end soon.
yeah, exactly. And it's truthfully, I'm seeing that coming. It's coming to an end, and it's the brothers and sisters are already seeing things in a different way now when it comes to them. And this time in which we're living in, this is not the time for them to be like, we about to tread through your country. I think those days are fastly approaching to being halted. You will have to be invited to our country in the very near future. It's just that simple. You will have to be invited. You're
Oh, I've
not
got a
going to just
scripture
walk
for
in.
that one.
Bring it to me then, sir. Bring it to me.
Give me a moment. Give me a moment. See if I can find it.
And let me tell you, while you're looking for that,
In a second, Angola's the last country. Is the last. Just a few days ago, has given visas to visit from any other African country. I don't know if they, and I think that they're planning to give us permanent residence as well at some point. Speaking to the chiefs and the kings on the ground, so it's a done deal now.
And ASAP and Chantel, y'all better be careful because y'all are definitely like literally under the devil. And research Prince Charles, research everything about him. You will see that's not even a man. I'll leave it at that because I'm not gonna say too much on Covenant Awakening.
With his chubsy wubsy fingers.
Here's the thing though.
You mean that lizard?
Sometimes, Rojo, you kind of have to dig into some things, and you're gonna have to refute some things because there literally are traps on the internet that will make you go down these stupid things. It's designed for that reason. It really is designed for that reason to get you flustered, to put the snare. That's why in everything that you do, look, you gotta pray about it, and you gotta ask the Holy Spirit to give you understanding and all these and these things. You see what I'm saying? Because I do try to caution our folks just to not hear things and say, well, we totally dive down this one. No. Ask the Most High to give you understanding. Even with what I say, ask the Most High to give you understanding. Because I do not want to lead anybody into, any type of baseless or this is what Paul said. Paul was saying this. He was literally telling this to the folks, but they interpret it as endless genealogies in terms of, oh, well, that's supposed to be with Israelites. Don't worry about that. No, it's endless genealogies because why? Because these folks were talking about Romulus and Remus with dogs and other animals that founded Rome. These folks were talking about literally principalities that
the
called.
mother dog. Remember, they said it.
Yes,
That's where I'm going.
But
Yeah.
but you get what I'm saying. So let's not be led down that path, because why? Because you'll be ensnared, you'll be encircled, you know. But understand, look, realize what it is that they were actually saying, because Eurocentric Christianity will tell you, oh, they meant this, and actually they didn't. They didn't. You know, it's the exact opposite. No, they do not want to look in their DNA. They do not want to look at their family trees. They do not want to understand. What was that? There was one family in France. I think Sister Chantel knows where I'm going with this. There's a family in France, and they were literally called, you know, the lizard people, or the lizard folk. And that is where their claim to fame was. I'm being dead serious. I'm being dead serious about it. Yes, I'm being dead serious about it. And then what it is that, you know, they look in their DNA, and yeah, there's some things that aren't genetically meshing. I'm not trying to say that all white folks are reptilian and stuff like that. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not. But what I am saying is, look, if you go down those lines, yeah, it can start throwing you through a tailspin, right? Everyone has some issues, because why? Because even the Most High said, what? Do not mix with animals, because why? They have repercussions. And those repercussions are more than just folklore.
Look at all the
why?
STDs.
Why? Because they wanted to do what? They thought that, oh, if you mated with something like that, that gives you this particular godlike power. That's
Power.
what they're believing.
Hey, let me tell you something. You better start looking at the Brothers Grimm again. You better start paying attention to all these fairy stories. You thought they were just fairy stories. They're not.
I don't read that anymore.
Especially when it comes to the Black Forest of Germany. Come on now, man.
Well, that
messed up things.
Reddit and I actually had that conversation, because, you know, and we could go all day with this, you know, and I don't want to go all day. I'm trying to wrap this on up because I got some things to do. But I mean, technically speaking, yes, even on the medieval tapestry where the Moors are fighting,
I've seen that.
Fighting. You see what I'm saying? They're fighting
I've seen
giants.
that.
Now, the question that I have for you is, in terms of prenatal care, why are they so big on prenatal care, especially for white folks? I'm just telling you that. Black folks, you don't really have prenatal care in the continent, and you don't have to worry about primordial tales. Ooh, that story's for other days.
Oh, damn.
Or 6
you
fingers
had to
or
go
6
there.
toes.
I had to go there. I'm sorry. But in this we're ready for the throwdown. This is what this thing is at.
Caris, it's curious that they want to call us monkeys, though.
What do they call us, Sister Chantel?
They want to keep calling us monkey. Did anybody see that Hispanic woman? that Latino woman? Ooh, 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 ooh. Yeah, you stay there. You carry on.
Sister Chantel, let me tell you, and I've seen this factually. I've seen this on baby, because I work in the medical field sometimes, and there are very, very few people here who know what I do, but I've seen the videos of birthing videos.
Brother Rocha, what do you do?
I know. When you say you work in the medical field, you know, look, is this the pharmaceuticals?
No.
I only just thought you were saying.
No.
He says I'm a prescribe different things to help feel good.
No, that's sorcery. That's witchcraft. No,
for all that spray away captivity drug. Please consult Roger.
He did say he was in Tennessee, so you know. I'm just saying.
It's like the kings and queens of all of that street pharmaceutical out here. but let me tell you, I have seen videos. I won't say where. I won't say that, but I've seen videos actually of W babies being born with a 6 toe looking like a monkey foot. And then I've seen them get tails cut off, extra toes and fingers cut off. I'm just saying, and I didn't believe it when I was doing my teachings here on YouTube. I won't say I will email y'all the sources. I'm not gonna say it on the open air, but yeah, that stuff is real. Blue blood. Did I say blue blood? Yeah, blue blood. Yeah. Oh,
Blue
Chantel,
blood.
ain't
Isn't
that
that copper based?
blue blood?
Right.
I'm just
Oh,
saying.
what are you?
Well, the Horites did not have a bloodline from Noah's 3 sons. The
No, they
Horites
didn't.
do not. They do not have a bloodline, and so that leads to. And where do they come from? They just didn't go pop up out of the clear blue sky, you know. And so, but when Yah was telling Israel to go in and to destroy this particular people or this particular country or nation, whatever, and if he said all of them, he meant all of them. But who was that? I mean, you got kings that didn't do what Yah said. You know, when he said kill them all, he knew who the people were. He
King
didn't have to
Saul is the
tell.
one who didn't do it, bro. Mike, I'm sorry to cut.
Yeah, King Saul. Yeah, he was one of them, but he knew
Caleb was
who they
another
was
one.
from, right? And so the thing about it is, when Yah, me and Sister Corinne was talking about this last night. When Yah was saying you're a special people to me, you're a pure people. Why did he say pure?
I got to run, but I'll still be listening on my phone.
All righty, brother. Be safe out there.
Yeah, we're about to shut this on down because we done went way too into do. Does everybody have the tinfoil hats on yet?
I do. I have the tinfoil
Rojo, you
slicker
call
suit.
in. Rojo, you call
I got
in with
mine
the
already.
tinfoil hat.
Mine never came off. What are you talking about?
You're not trying to get that Havana syndrome? I don't know why I always have a headache after listening to Covenant Awakenings. It's
You
the
better not be
man.
out during the rain.
Don't be a menace while drinking your juice in the hood. It's the man.
That film is crazy. And so true at some points.
I mean,
My milk of magnesia.
I found the verses that I actually wanted to read. One of them was, they're all in Ecclesiasticus. I mean, I'm telling you, it's wisdom, just pure wisdom. First one is Ecclesiasticus 11, verse 10. It says, "My son, meddle not with many matters, for if thou meddle much, thou shalt not be innocent." Sounds like America to me as well, and all these other nations. "Thou shalt not be innocent, and if thou follow after, thou shalt not obtain, neither shalt thou escape by fleeing." It's Ecclesiasticus 11, verse 10. Another one was, sorry, give me a second. Bookmark them. Yeah, these people running back into the continent. A covetous man's eye is not satisfied with his portion, and the iniquity of the wicked drieth up his soul. A wicked eye envieth his bread. And yeah, I'm not even going to read this other part. If you're in it, you see what it says. It says, and he is a N-I-G. Let me just not at his table. I ain't gonna say read the rest. Yeah, because that just caught me. Another
bring that
one.
on up. We're gonna have to make sure that you pre-screen your your scriptures.
Well, I didn't say it. I didn't say it.
We're gonna have a reading. We're gonna have a reading of the word by Sister Chantel. Did one of them deacons check them scriptures?
The last one is give me a second. Yeah, Ecclesiasticus 12 verse 12. Set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith.
Mhm.
Like, we need to stop. And so many people have been saying this now. I don't know if you guys have seen the Michael Rappaport video.
I can't stand that clown.
Who can? But some black people can. And it's like, we got to stop inviting these people to the cookout. Look, they're not our concern. The Most High, at that time, he will show us, or we will see who is going to be allowed to come with us. He just will.
The Most
And
High is
even
inviting
then,
them to a different cookout, sis.
well,
Most High is inviting them to a different cookout.
well, we got to have servants. So there's going to be some that's going to come. Let's not get it twisted. And it's only the righteous among them, because we can't trust you. We can't have those who are just wicked and just saying, yeah, I'm going just for the sake, because I'm trying to escape. So the same way we're going to have a clearance cell with us, they're going to go through the same thing. When we get into the land, then whoever's in the land, you'll know those are the ones that you can trust. So I read that and I was like, whew, okay, yeah, we've seen that. Don't trust your oppressors. Don't trust them. I'm not saying you should hate them, but you can't trust them. We can't trust them. They are our enemy. They still are. I don't care if you're married to them or whatever, but at any drop of the hat, they can change like the British weather. It's time for us to not be so simple. Love them if you need to, but you can't trust them like that, man. You can't.
Oh boy.
Trust them to a certain degree, but
All right,
not all the way.
All right, we're going to shut this down, but before we do, I want to share this screen because I want everybody to start understanding the time that we're at, family. Here's this. This is from Times of Israel. I'm going to put this link in the chat. Times of Israel. This is as of today, 1:39 p.m., which is they're about a 5-6 hour difference. So this is by about 2 hours ago. Macron proposes international coalition against Hamas.
He got enough trouble on his plate already. Now he want to go dip his nose in something that ain't got nothing to do with him.
Because why? Because this is the fight of white supremacy. I just want to give you that, family.
Yeah.
It's not going to get any better, family. It's going to get worse. And here we are.
A lot of people said
These
that dude
people
was the
obviously are
Antichrist.
not reading scriptures.
No, they're reading scriptures. They're only reading First Thessalonians, Revelations, and Timothy, but they're all their interpretation is all whacked.
It's so funny because for a little while we didn't see him. France had nothing to say on the matter because we thought you're too busy with what's going on in Africa. But now obviously he's kind of looked his voice.
They got kicked out of Africa, so they have to. This is it.
Yes, but who got kicked out? It's funny, but who got kicked out of Africa first? Did not do you guys remember when Israel was kicked out of that meeting?
Yeah.
Exactly what happened. That was the catalyst. Because why? Because that state is what? It's geographically located by the Nile to do what? To be able to get into sub-Saharan Africa, to be able to get into the areas that they want to get into. Make no mistake, they wanted to get into Uganda as a strategic location of the sub-Saharan resource enterprise. And it was literally the Maasai that was over there, and they said no. They said no, not gonna happen. So what did they do? They went to their Japhetic brethren. They said, we're going to be good. We're going to be this. And then they took on over. Because why? Because they know geographically speaking, they need to have that to control the flow of goods from
And guess what
the
else,
Indian
Karis?
Ocean and everything else. Yeah, go ahead.
That headline troubles me. It really does because people got to remember we're in America. We know the dog whistle language in America. That's way over there in Europe. And people got to realize BLM, Islamist, Hamas is all code words for black people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, to me, that's a dog whistle around the world to just kind of go in on Negroes. And I'll just say that.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
but you know,
But you
but
know,
here's the funny thing. The funny thing is we're not choosing sides. We're basically being we're counting ourselves out of the fight. They want to drag us into the fight. And we're saying this isn't our fight. This is a fight. We're telling them this is a fight for white supremacy. Count
Mm,
ourselves out. We
mm.
don't want to
They-
be involved in their fight against white supremacy. I'm sorry.
well, they thought they could do that with Ukraine. Now, this
Yes.
one's different because the reason why this one's different is because they know that Christianity is their buffer. And they know so many of our people is stuck in Christianity. And they also know that so many of our people believe them to be what we know them not to be. So this was important. It was an attack, a mental and spiritual attack on us on so many fronts. The
Yes,
fact that our
Chantel.
people was getting the attention in Africa, attacked there. The fact that they understand that, oh, you think you're the people? We know you're the people, but we're going to make the whole world feel sorry for us, right? We see that we heard on Sister East channel how when she was playing and it was like the one of the woman there was calling themselves the diaspora. Now, when do they actually say that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Another
Exactly.
attack. Then they're attacking us. They're attacking who we are. They're attacking the fact that they're trying to bring us into their mess. They're constantly. This is a cold war to the highest echelons. This is like literal spiritual warfare, mental madness,
Hey, Chantel,
male
please,
mental madness. I'm like,
Chantel, please pray for
oh,
your brother, Charles West.
what did he
Please,
say?
please pray for him. I'm sorry.
That little French fry.
you know
He
what?
is in everybody's business.
The most dangerous thing I'm seeing about this, the most dangerous thing, and they know this. I'm quite sure they know it. There's a difference between Negroes and other black people. But what they want to do, or what the world is doing, um, group them all together. Group them all together. That's all they doing, and they using the television to get everybody's minds. They are all from one person. They're the only black people. Boom, group them to get together. Okay, but yeah, if they don't, hmm, I don't know how. I mean, I know they're what they're trying to do to get us in there. But we got a battle. Period. Uh, Yahusha, he said, "You are sheep among wolves." We are in the belly of the literal beast. We're surrounded by nothing but wolves. They will act like they're so kind, so sweet, but will attack you at the drop of a dime. This is who we are surrounded by. We're built different. We're created different. And they know this. They know that they're flesh eating people. They got to get what they want to get. And unfortunately, our DNA is among some of those wolves. And I'm talking about Esau. He is some kin to us. And then that's even talk. I'm even speaking about not necessarily on the white side. I'm talking about the ones that are on the black side. That's the danger of which we're in. We are we are in a tight squeeze. That's where we are at, in a very tight squeeze. You got these group of people here saying, "Hey, we're the Israelites," and trying to get our brothers and sisters to wake up to that fact from a scriptural standpoint. And then you got others that are hell bent on the entertainment side, where they're working truthfully against our efforts to wake them up. And in the middle, it's the devil and his legions. He knows exactly who he's working with and who he's using to work against us. This is where we are at. This guy here, Macron, he want to join the fight, and he's rolling the dice. If they win, I'm gonna ask them to come in to go to Africa and retake Niger. That's all that is.
Right
a sissy
there.
move.
Exactly.
That's a sissy
Exactly.
move. That is a sissy move. And but let them go head on. This could be a setup that Yah has put together. All right, let him go there. They go destroy one another.
Hey, brother Michael, I just want to say this, brother. Y'all are giving way too much credit and credence to Macron. You got to realize the French has been taking L's since 5 years after Cinco de Mayo. Number one, they've been. I mean, the Harlem Hellfighters had to bail their behinds out in World War One. The Tuskegee Airmen had to bail them out in World War II, along with the rest of the world, the Allies. We brothers, not them W's in Korea and Vietnam had to go bail them out then. So they went to a country that was presumably using spears and bow and arrows as weapons, to rule over them for close to 100 years. Now they get their hands on an AK and they start knocking off a few of them, as Charles West said, start making some French fries. you saw they heard it skied up out of there. So now he's just running his mouth. He's nothing. I wouldn't even like he's a misnomer. He's like Yamcha in Dragon Ball Z. I mean, what is he gonna do to anyone?
Yeah, but never underestimate your enemy, even the ones that look dumb and look like they're helpless. Never underestimate the fact that they might, whatever they lack in might, they make up for their cunning, deceitful manner. You don't know if this would be, and I'm not saying that we should be fearful, because I know that they're going to lose royally. These people are going to lose spectacularly, right? But don't underestimate. See, he's hoping that if you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. We know this is how, and I was going to say, this is exactly what they're like. France is listen, they start wars, they just don't finish it. And they're never really around while it's going on. They slowly backward creep out, whistling as they go backwards out of it. And they leave everybody else holding the ball.
Escabella, you need prayer.
All right. So, they're fighting the battle with bed bugs. Yep. All right.
Oh, they lost that.
Final comments.
I go ahead. I'm about to head up out of here. Well, we know where we're at on this time of the end. And we're those sheep that the Messiah spoke about, and we're surrounded. And they're coming in on us. They are literally coming in on us. And when I say literally, they are. And this is what the world is doing. Me, myself, I think 2024 is going to be something totally different. And I think it's going to be more of a. It's going to be more of a. It's going to be a big change with not just us, with the world also. But we need to keep our heads on a swivel. Yeah, the world still has this hate against us. They do. They still hate us. But at the same time, we got to continue to put up a fight to encourage one another. Some of our brothers and sisters are going through some things that some of us can't even imagine. Keep them in your keep them in your prayers, your thoughts. And at the same time, when all of this is going on, we must continue to maintain our faith. We live during demonic times. This is Satan's world. This is his system. We are only in this system due to our forefathers' shortcoming, their sin against our Creator. But we are in the fire. We're being refined. We got to go through this in order for us to get to what Yah has in store for us. We got to go through this fire. In order for us to appreciate what he's going to give us, we got to appreciate where we are at right now. Because once living in this world, you will understand the difference between Satan's system and what Yah has for his people. And you're going to very well know, don't nobody in their right mind want to go back to this demonic system, because everything that is about this system is demonic. Everything. I hand it back to you, Brother Karras.
All right, thank you. Who else would like to go next?
Okay, I'll go next and leave the best for last. Leave Sister Chantel for last. But I just want to say, especially in places like Illinois, where they're actually starting to, pew pew at each other now. Chicago, Skokie, be really careful up there. These people aren't playing because they know we're solid. They know that we're withdrawing and that we're having cookouts, with closed fences now. So they're really angry at us. Down there in Florida, they're starting to, I don't want to use the word, but H, it rhymes with Bane. They're starting to do that stuff.
Oh, they're getting crazy around here. Yeah. No, they're getting real crazy around here. I see it. Listen, I see it.
Exactly.
My son's at school. He's like, Dad, he's like, look, he's like, I see on the faces of the white kids, like they're looking real shook.
Yeah.
Exactly what I just is that not what I said? Look, pay attention to their faces.
Yeah.
They're understanding what's going on now.
Yeah, their faces are getting real long. Yeah, they're like, I'm having discussions with some of the kids in our class, and the white kids, they're just, all they can do is just listen in, and they don't want to say a word.
And I'm gonna use this code word because I don't want to, like I said, I'm trying to protect the channel. I'm gonna say Patricia, but the word starts with M. So y'all, I think y'all know what I'm saying. A lot of Patricias are going to Florida, especially that central part of Florida, which isn't too far from where you are, Karras. So my point is, y'all really just need to. I mean, I listened to Karras's evening broadcast on a Sunday, and where he said that he's going to come on if he invites people. It's not any time for laughing or BSing or playing, because whenever he comes on off schedule, it's no time for playing. Down there, it's no time for playing. Where I'm at, it's no time for playing. Sister Chantel, y'all can't even have pew pews. It's no time for playing. People got to be serious. Be vigilant. Keep your heads on a swivel. Stay in prayer. Stay in your houses, close and lock your doors, and just stay in that word and just stay ready. And on that, I land. Say shalom. Thank you, Brother Karras. Sister Chantel.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it. All right, shalom.
All right, yeah, it's me.
Chantel, go ahead.
As always, it's been a pleasure. It's getting crazy. It's like now I've been seeing so much. I'm at a stage right now where I'm just like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. I'm just looking in the word, and I've just been going through some scriptures, and things have been revealing things that I already knew, but you go back and you relearn certain things, and you see more of more of it unfolding. Prophecy is like the scriptures is like a roadmap, and every time you read it, it's like you walking down this path, and as you're holding the scripture, it lights up the path. And sometimes the streets might change, but the actual roads will stay the same. The format of that road will stay the same. Before it used to be like, oh, that used to be a hairdresser's right there, but now it's something else. It's I don't know, an Indian curry takeaway or something or another. It's like, but the scripture. So what it meant back then is completely different, or it's expanded on what it was to what it is. Prophecy it flows, and it's followed us wherever we've gone. And as a result, we see the players remain the same. They could change their names and they can change their locale, but the players are still the same, and they still do the same thing to us. They haven't changed. All I can say is that what we need to do is just meditate, pray, fast, just hold the Most High at his words. He hasn't let us down. The fact of the matter is that his word is more important, because there's so much promises in there, and it's promises of, I will keep you safe. You will see these things, but they will not come near you. We have to hold on to those prophecies. If it wasn't for those very same prophecies, if it wasn't for his word, we wouldn't even know who we are right now. So that word resonates. It's our scriptures. It was given to us, passed down the ages. They had it and they didn't understand it. They couldn't even understand it. It says something in Isaiah 47. It says, you didn't even understand, or you didn't remember the end thereof. They've had this for 1,000 years, and they didn't even realize that this is what this is about. It's just like Satan thinking that he got one over on Yahushua on the cross. Yeah, I'm killing you. But you didn't even realize that was the whole plan of salvation right there. And this is the same thing. They think that they've got something on us. Even now, they still want to hold fast to their hatred and the way they carry on. But the Most High is using their white supremacy against them. It is their weapon. It cannot change. They cannot change. And he is using that against them. So all I'm saying is that we need to remove ourselves, and it's going to get even more painful, because a lot of them, because they can sense we see you for the first time ever, we see you 100%, and because we're pulling back, they're getting even more angrier, and they're going to follow us. They always follow us wherever we go. So all we can do is just pull back, as he says, come out of her mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and then physically he will remove us. And I just want to say on that tip, Yashara, I love you. Stay safe, stay prayed up, and keep the Most High always, ever in your heart. Thank you.
Hallelujah. All right. Thank you, Sister Chantel. Not to mention, cocoa prices are actually soaring too. So not only are they going to go crazy with that, they can't have their chocolate. Chocolate's going to start becoming expensive.
Oh gosh, don't even start, man.
Oh,
I need me some chocolate. I can't.
The woes, the sweet tooth woes are started. I need
Oh
the
my gosh.
chocolate.
Without chocolate. Oh my gosh.
No, those Europeans
No.
love their chocolate. Look, Sister
Oh, they do.
Chantel, tell them. Those
We love our
Europeans
chocolate.
love their chocolate, and if their
Oh.
chocolate starts to
Lindor is my favorite. Oh my gosh. Those little balls where it just melts, you just put it in your mouth and you just let it melt, and oh my gosh, the chocolate just
no chocolate, So much for Willy Wonka.
I need my chocolate.
They're gonna be singing about. I remember we used to get chocolate on the continent. Why did those bad people move there?
Do you know what's
Why
funny
did
though, Karis?
Alauddin move there and
Do you know what's
found
funny?
our
These
supply?
Europeans, they've turned around and said, "Oh, the African man, they didn't know what the chocolate. They didn't realize what we used the chocolate for. And when we brought it to them and they tasted it, they were like, this is so good." It's like, and they were laughing with joy and like, no, they're laughing at you because these people are so arrogant and conceited. They think that for thousands of years they've been in our own country. We needed you to come and show us the chocolatey way. Are you?
Like they don't. The
You
saddest.
practice stupid.
Yeah, the saddest thing is like, oh, look at what we showed you. No, we showed you it, and then you acted like brand new, and then you tried to show us something that we already done showed you. Man, get out of here.
Exactly.
But that's the foolishness that
Well,
this
that's their
nation has
religion, isn't it?
exhibited. Yeah,
Foolish.
that the nations have exhibited. And now they're understanding they're about to get cut off from vital resources. And then when they get cut off, really, truthfully, what do they have to offer besides war?
Nothing. Potato and coal. I've said this.
That's it. That's
Potato
it.
and coal.
That's
Dead
it.
thing. But we will be going to a land of chocolate.
Yeah. Land
With
of milk and
chocolate
honey.
people. What does Eric Tinsley say? He says Israel for what's it? Africa for Africans and Israel for Israel. Well, I say chocolate for chocolate people. That's what I say. Get your nosh on. You're not having any. Oh my gosh, yes. All the chocolates. Anyway, Karis, I could stay here and just laugh and everything and, have lots of giggles and fun and whatever. But, you got things to do and I've got things to do. So
I really do. All right. Thank you, Sister Chantel. Let me get you on off here. I've been trying to close up this broadcast for literally over an hour, but that's okay. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I started this broadcast feeling terrible. I was able to get that tea and something in me. And, I thank the Most High. Over 3 hours. Hallelujah. 3 hours, family. So, with that said, family, please, please show your love, show your support. I do this every day because the Most High allows me to. And so, with that, family, I can only operate via donations, and your donations are key. It truly is. I thank you for those that support this channel. There was a time that I didn't even have to ask. That was nice. There was a time. But not no more. I gotta ask. I gotta be like Oliver. Please, sir. Please put a penance in the cup. Thank you, sir, for the Covenant Awakenings / QTUA presentation. I need it to go on because I'm just going to curl up on my cardboard mat and read the papers that get blown down the street for me. No, thank you, family. Yeah, I do. I do look at it as, look, at this time we are not that far off. We used to say, how long is it gonna take? How long is it gonna take? Question is, we see it's not how long it's gonna take, it's actually when is this thing gonna pop off? And I told you, they don't want to pop this thing off until March, April. But there's gonna be a lot of transitionings happening during that time. You're going to have CBDC. Why? Because they're going to try and change on out things from a fiat to more of a fiat through digital currency. Because why? Because they're losing access to certain things, certain commodities. We're seeing this here. There are a lot of things, family, that we see, but we're going to need help to get things accomplished. That doesn't come from one person. It doesn't come from a couple of people. This is now where we're at. We all need to pitch in, family. So, family, with that, I got to get off because I got to make some phone calls to the continent. Hallelujah. Thank you for those that have supported, especially today. I appreciate it. Thank you for those that continue to support Quest Unite Africa. We definitely appreciate it because that does go to what we're doing on the continent, the planning that we're doing, the work that we're doing. It is a constant work. Okay, I gotta go because I got folks on the continent calling me. Okay, all right, family. Shalom, salama, siyeme, shalom, peace and blessings, yasharel.